Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben and Woods on a Throwback Thursday. Great to be here with you, here live in the Odyssey studios, and very, very much easier drive to work in this morning, I think, for everyone, but still a little moist, a little slick, so be careful. Been warning you guys every day. Hopefully you're heeding our advice. We like to give advice. That is something that we like to do, certainly. I'm Woodsy. That is Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. I was trying to remember, because I've lived in San Diego essentially my entire life, if there was ever like a week, like going to school, work, whenever, that there was rain every single day of the week in San Diego.
Yeah,
it's a lot lighter today, but I got some on my way to work still. Had to turn on the wipers for a few minutes, and I can't remember an entire week where it just rained every week. Now, Paul, you grew up in the Pacific Northwest. That happens often.
So growing up there and then moving down here, the differences that I saw, I started coaching high school baseball fairly young when I moved down here, and I noticed like Grossmont High School was where I was coaching, and everything was outdoors, like the walkways,
the malls are
like,
outdoors. You're like, what?
The mall, yeah, exactly. Fashion Valley, all of that. And I go, like the mall that I grew up going to was just one giant ass building.
It's a big dome.
Just one big ass building with 3 floors and had all the stores in there. Our high school was one long building with long hallways, and I've said this before, there would be times in the winter, like I'd have an early shoot around for basketball practice, go to class at 7:20, get out of school at 2:05, have a game or practice or something like that in November, December, and then you get home and it's dark and you're like, I did not see the sun.
No
I didn't
sun
see
at all.
or even daylight because it's
my mind.
gray and cloudy. You're like, I just didn't see the daylight. I'm like, no wonder the depression rate is so high up here in the Northwest.
I couldn't make it, man. This is the
It's
weather.
brutal.
The weather. This weather kills me. I mean, truly, like it ends me. I yesterday got home. I was not feeling good. I've been hacking up in here, trying to get this kid crud out of my chest, and got home and was like, I need to exercise. I'm not exercising when it's raining. I'm just not. I know that about myself. Hey, maybe Woodsy, rip some push-ups, sit-ups. No, I'm not doing that.
I don't know that it's ever been clinically diagnosed, but Shelley always says, it feels like I have that seasonal affective disorder.
Sure.
When it's
SAD.
When it's
S-A-D.
not, she just needs some sun and just needs to go out and just be in the sun for a little bit. So when it's cloudy all week, she just doesn't feel right, not in a good mood, just feels sad.
Yeah, 100%. Got a great message this morning wanted to share with you guys from our pal Welsh Fryer, our buddy Tom. He's a big Tier 1, lives in Wales, and lives close to that town, Paulie, that he likes to.
Llanffair Pysgwyn Gisgo Gerrit Queen Jobot Llantysilio Go Go Go.
Well, we got a message this morning. Morning, boys. Just wanted to drop a quick message to thank you for the opportunity to be on your show. I had an interview with a university yesterday to study sports journalism. And after mentioning I'd been on the show, they loved it. And the fact that I had some experience with stuff like that and offered me an unconditional place at the university, couldn't thank you guys enough. Look it up. We're changing lives over here.
That's awesome.
On Ben and Woods.
How about that?
Just changing lives. So if there's anything we can do for you guys, please let us know. We'd be happy to help. How was everyone's day yesterday after we got out of here?
Day was good.
I napped like a madman.
I tried. I couldn't fall asleep.
I also took a nap.
Did you?
Yeah, which I
God.
haven't been doing as much lately with my newer schedule, but definitely just felt tired this week. This has been like I said, this has been a long week.
It's been long.
The weather, I think, when you're getting really close to something you're looking forward to, like baseball season, spring training, the days just go slower and slower to get there. And let's be honest, the Super Bowl is coming up, but we talked about this yesterday. The anticipation of the Super Bowl isn't really content. It's fake. It's fake content, and we don't like fake content. So we haven't had a real news to chew on this week. It's been a very slow kind of week in terms of stuff to talk about.
It has been, and the Tier 1s have still been there. We see you in the chat. We see you on Twitter. We really appreciate that because, we want to make sure that we do the best show that we can every single day, not punting segments, not giving up, trying to grind through it. I mean, it helps sharpen us, certainly, when I was talking to my therapist about it yesterday, and she said, how's everything going? I said, honestly, the show is sounding so good right now. And I showed her the example on Instagram of when Ben decided to educate everyone about S&M. And I showed her that segment, and she was in tears. And I said, the chemistry in the room right now is really good, and no one's really worried that we don't have a ton of stuff to talk about because we know that we'll figure it out. And we've been able to really mine some gold in there. So I said,
bro, it used to stress me that.
Me too.
Out.
Me too.
I'm like, what are we going to do tomorrow? And there's still a little bit of that at night when I'm kind of putting the rundown together. But I do know ultimately, I'm like, well, we're not just going to sit there in silence for 20 minutes. We'll figure it out.
We're going to be okay. And that's what I told her. And I said, I think that's a testament to the chemistry that this show has, the trust that this show has in each other, and the audience that we have. That's really what it's all about. They like it when we're dying in here, and we're able to make that pretty good. So it was good, man. But I napped. That felt pretty good. I went to my therapist, had a great chat with her, and went home and hung out with the family. Had a great night with them, and it's really sweet, man. Go ahead.
Oh, no, finish your story.
It's really sweet. I got Bo this. It's called the Big Life Journal, and I kind of did it on a whim. I bought it off Instagram. I saw it on
late at night.
Late at night.
Ambien?
Saw it. Yes, saw it on Instagram, and
a journal for
it's
a
called
6-year-old.
The Big Life Journal, and it's for kids.
Okay.
in that age, like 6 to 10. And I go, all right, I'm gonna try this and see if he likes it, dude. When he opened it, he got so much cool stuff, but he grabbed it and he goes, Dada, this is my favorite present. Thank you so much. I love it so much. He likes work. He loves to work. It's awesome. Like, so I got him home. He had a rough day yesterday. Was not in the best mood. Got him all bathed and fed and everything. And before bed, he goes, can we go do some journaling? And I go, of course. So we go in, and it's all about learning how to fail. And I learned from my mistakes. I mean, look, it helps me as much as it helps him. But that's been something that I've really loved the last few days, where it's like on his mind, like, Dada, let's go do our journal. And that's what I want for him to I want to get it in his head, because he's pretty hard on himself for a 6-year-old. He's pretty tough on himself. But man, he's sitting there and he's writing out the words and he's thinking about stuff, and it's just been really special. So it was a cool moment before bedtime.
Did he get my contribution to his
did.
jogathon?
Thank you very much, Ben, for contributing.
Yeah, I sent in a small donation for his jogathon. He's raised a lot of money.
Has he? I haven't even checked the thing yet.
I was closing in on $2,000 after my donation for jogathon.
What was yours for? About $1,000?
Yeah, 3 G's actually.
3 G's.
Yeah,
3 G's.
Is the G $5?
So that would be $15. I was like $15.35, or what? Did you pay the administration fee?
Yeah, I paid the administration, so
right.
my entire donation could go to the jogathon. I paid the administration fee, credit card fee, whatever it is. The entire donation would go, and then you're allowed to type in a little message of support. So I just said, Bo, thank you for your contributions to our show.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
$15 worth, yeah.
He does a lot of unpaid work for the Ben and Woods program over the years.
This basically is a sweatshop for Bo and Taylor. So we've turned this into a bit of a sweatshop for those kids.
We're skirting some child labor laws when it comes to Bo and Taylor, but
look, it's not going to surprise me if one day I do get sued by both of my children, the litigious little turds
once
that
they
are.
Figure it out.
Yeah, once they figure it out. Be like, Dad, do you have rights to use my voice?
I was looking back in my journal at all the times that I worked for your show, and I was just going to submit this as evidence to the court right here. Back in the journal when I was 6 years old, I did this amount of time in the show, and they interviewed me, and I got nothing for that. So
yeah. So one day he will be like, Dad, do you have a name right license to play those drops, or because if not, you need to talk to my attorney. Yeah, it's he's a gem though, man. So yeah, that's what I did last night, and got the kids down. And dude, I'm not kidding you. I crawled into bed at 6:30. Crawled into bed at 6:35. Pitch black, and was like, I lay there till about 8, and then finally fell asleep, man. But It's just been a long week.
I wasn't that far behind you. Got into bed around, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Was up for a couple more hours, though. We started, there was nothing on sports-wise to watch yesterday. I didn't care about the NBA or anything. No
dude.
Aztec game. So Megan and I, we started Amazon Prime. Now, we don't get crossing streams anymore, at least until we get a crossover crossing streams, maybe.
From Craig,
with Craig, but I feel like he would have recommended the show by now. Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon Prime.
Saw the thing yesterday. It's based on the movie, right?
The one
No,
with
it has nothing to do
Angelina
with the movie.
Jolie, that movie.
No, it's a show.
It's a show with
It's
Donald
not
Glover.
based on that
Okay,
movie.
Donald Glover.
And Maya Erskine, I think her name is. She's fantastic.
So it has
And
nothing to do with the original
It's-
premise.
Nothing.
They're not spies.
It's along the same lines, but it's no. If you never saw the movie 20 years ago with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, you don't need to see it at all.
It's like Fargo, the TV show, is in a similar vein as the movie, but it's not the same characters.
No, it's not the same character.
They basically are signing up to work for this agency as a spy, mercenary type role, but the caveat is that when they show up to their house, they have a new identity as their spy. They are married, and so they weren't already in love and then became spies or anything like that. So they are in this like forced relationship.
So it's the exact same premise as the movie.
I mean, kind of, not really.
It's the same movie.
No, it's not. It's a show.
It is a show, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that's the same plot.
Yeah, but in the movie didn't they have to kill each other in the movie?
I think so. I think it's been a long time.
I've only seen 3 episodes. I don't believe that they have been targeted to kill each other like they did in the movie.
Mike B says people rating it bad, but I think it's good. Has no connection to the movie. They take it in a way more fun direction. Yeah, that movie was not. It was more spy.
I was cracking up.
Well, it's
each episode.
Donald Glover, who's one of the sharpest writers out there these days, and well, that's,
I know
right.
I know it's a recommendation. You won't watch it.
It's probably it's been recommended, so I can't. I was going to check it out, and then Polly recommended it. Now I can't, so I'm sorry. That's all right. So that's good. You guys started that.
Megan says they're not killing each other. That was the premise
that
of the
was
movie.
The premise.
I mean, I guess I haven't finished the show yet. I think there's 8 episodes. We got 3 down yesterday.
How hot was Angelina Jolie in Mr. and Mrs. Smith? I mean, I think it ruined his first marriage, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that movie. But, well, hopefully that doesn't happen to in this episode or this show that Paulie's watching on Amazon Prime. I can't find a damn thing to watch. I just rewatched Curb. Season 12, episode 1 for like the 3rd time. It's fantastic. So they're off to a good start there. Ben and Woods.
That's going to make me really sad.
Ben and Woods, not off to the best start today, but we will rebound. We will be fine.
Better news for our afternoon show. Wanted to give them a shout
Congrats,
out
guys.
after we were ranked number 17 in the top 20. 16 in the top 20 morning shows. That knocked us a spot earlier this week. The rankings for the afternoon shows came out this morning, and congratulations to Gwen and Chris. Ranked the number 19 afternoon show, drive show in sports radio in the country, which for someone named Tony Gwynn, number 19 seems like
pretty cool.
A solid, appropriate ranking right there in the top 20. So congratulations to Gwen, Chris, Scraby for their hard work and good job over the last year.
Are we going to talk about Matt Scraby at some point? And how insane he is and what he's doing today?
Oh, the Thai 10, the spicy challenge that he's...
I told Hannah yesterday, I hope that they have somebody on. I'm
a paramedic,
listen,
maybe.
I love a good radio bit as much as the next guy. This one actually has me legitimately worried. So we can talk about that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, we'll explain when we come back.
I'm a little nervous.
We'll set the menu for the
Does
program.
it have to do with the event that we have, the company event we have coming up?
No,
at
it doesn't.
Today?
Our chili cook-off today at Odyssey. It does not have anything to do with that at all. It has to do actually with a comment Matt made on his program.
Thanks for reminding me. I've got to go down to my car and get my chili. Yeah, I
That you
totally
brought?
forgot it. Let me go grab that, and I'll be back.
We'll set the
Team
menu.
building chili cook-off.
I'm sure everyone's very confused, so we'll explain it all when we come back. It's Ben and Woods. Good morning to you. It's Thursday. Let's check traffic here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Just got the confirmation that my co-host Benjamin Higgins is a touch insane, as I don't think Angelina Jolie's that attractive.
I mean, obviously she's a very good-looking woman. It's just not my type.
She's like her lips are a little too.
They're intimidating to me.
Then intimidating.
Yeah.
It's an odd.
It's also a defense mechanism when you know you have absolutely no chance with someone. The idea that
she's not in here asking you to go out for coffee or anything.
I know, but it's like, well, you know what? This really wouldn't be something I'd want anyway.
Right. I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't even want that. Hannah says Ben likes a girl next door.
I do.
Yeah, he
I
likes
actually
a girl
very much do.
Next door.
Hey there, Delilah.
So this may be the last time Pauly works and sits at that board in its current state of
what is going on
functionality.
here?
Have you not heard about this?
I haven't.
All right, so-
I knew you said spicy, and I know that we have a company in-house chili cook-off in honor of the Super Bowl this weekend.
And that's today?
The big game, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
big
big
game.
game.
Can't
Big
do
game.
any chili cook-offs.
Chili
big game.
cook-off.
Oh, we're dead. That's it. Ben and Woods is over. Thanks a lot, Pauly.
FCC's coming.
$50,000 fine. Here it
FCC's
comes.
like,
Sorry, it's the dump it. It's the big game chili
I
cook-off.
thought even that was
here.
copyrighted now.
Oh, Sean just had a good idea. Good bit. Set Ben up with a celebrity crush. That'd be incredible. But it's not about chili. There was some goings on the afternoon show. Ben, you heard
I was
it.
listening actually. So Tony Gwynn Jr. was bringing in his lunch or dinner or whatever he eats during the show, and he had some Thai food.
Hold
and
on. That in and of itself is brilliant.
And Matt was
I love Thai food. I don't know that I would eat it before I needed to talk for 3 to 4 hours.
Good point.
Yeah, and Matt was poking fun at Tony because he was sweating profusely as he ate because of the spice level. And they asked Tony, like, what number did you get of spiciness of your Thai food? And Tony said, like 2 or 3, and Matt goes 2 or 3.
Is he a spice shamer?
Nothing. And he goes, yes, he is.
He's
and
a
he
spice
goes,
shamer.
I order a 10.
Get out of here.
And so they did not, and to their credit, Gwen and Chris did not let up on that.
They
You
pounded
order
him.
a 10, a Thai food 10, and he goes, yeah, I can do a 10, and he stuck with it. And then
Is he saying he can do it, or like that's his order?
well,
like when
he
he
made it
says
seem
he's
like that
done
was his order. Now, after they challenged him and set up today's challenge, which I believe is supposed to happen early in the show,
Oh, I will be there.
they, Matt later admitted, okay, I don't really order 10. I did order it once
Back
when I
in
was
Canada.
drinking.
You don't know her.
When,
Yeah,
when
back
I
in
was
Canada.
drinking,
She
I
lives in
ordered a
Canada.
10
Yeah,
up
you
in the
guys
Bay
don't know her. You
Area.
have
I've
no
done
idea.
it before,
Yeah, she's a
but
10.
She's a 10.
it's not my go-to every single time. But I can do.
I met her at camp.
I can do it. And then there were some listeners who pointed out there's a difference between an American 10. If you just walk in and say, I'll take a 10, they won't jack up the spice level as high as they can possibly go. There's also a Thai 10, like for a Thai person who eats Thai food and they really want a 10, there's a separate level. So
Do they give you a
challenged
wink?
him. Yeah, I think it's kind of a wink, wink, nod, nod. Like you need to be convinced. You need to convince the establishment
Sign a
this is
waiver.
what you really, really want. And then they said, okay, well let's order one of those for Matt Scraby and we'll have him eat it on the air today. And that's the plan.
So-
Jocelyn says he definitely started backpedaling.
Okay, so then Chris says, Woods, did you say you could hit 100 miles an hour? When we first started here, we were talking about how difficult it is to hit a baseball. And there was going to be a challenge. I don't think it came from me coming in here, cracking the mic and going, oh, yeah, I can hit 100. I don't think I can. I don't think I've ever thought I could. And somebody tweeted me the other day, they're like, Tony Gwynn Jr. said he'll bet you anything that you can't hit 100. And I wrote back, he's
There's no way.
absolutely right. Also, that's like me saying, I bet you Tony Gwynn Jr. couldn't power lift 6,000 pounds. Like, I don't remember me
Woods is
being
like, can I get in on some of that action? That sounds
Yeah.
like a pretty good bet, actually.
It was something that was going to happen.
we were going to
right
do the challenge right before
pandemic.
COVID, dude. It was right
It
before
was going to be before opening day or like at our opening day broadcast. They were going to bring out a pitching machine.
No, it was at Brickyard.
Yep.
We had it all set up at Brickyard. We were going to go down. We were going to broadcast live, and then COVID hit, and it was done. And I was like, Adam was really like, hey, no, you got to do this. I was like, bro, I'm going to look like a buffoon. I can't hit 100.
It was like, out of 10 pitches at 100 miles an hour, can Woods even get the bat on the ball one time?
I don't think I would ever sit here and say, because I'm not the guy that comes in here and goes, if you give me 1,000 at bats in the big leagues, I could get a knock. I would go 0 for 1,000. 0 for 1,000. I would. We always talk, all fat, old, washed-up sports guys. We love to do that bit like, all right, if you got into an NBA game, could you get 1 rebound? The answer is no.
Right.
There's one thing I could do. One. If I was playing first base, they hit a ground ball to Manny, and he threw it to me, I could catch it. That's it. And then my career is done. I couldn't catch a pop fly.
And even then, it would have movement. It'd be coming in harder than anything you've ever seen.
I could catch it. I could catch Manny.
Just saying, it wouldn't. Yeah.
Manny fielding a ground, throwing to me at first. I could catch the ball. That's a challenge. If Manny wants to do it, I'll do it at spring training. Now you throw it in the dirt. I'm probably not going to pick it. I could catch a ball. That's it. I can't hit 100. I bet if you gave me 50 pitches, I don't know if I could ever time it up. It's so hard. I was in the cage at 80 and was like having
if I had to
trouble
do
with that.
something, I think I'd want to try to strike out a major league batter.
Are you insane?
Are you out of your mind?
Well, they sometimes, like when those guys throw really slow, like the position players come in and just lob it over. They can't, like an eephus pitch.
They would take your head off.
I mean, that would be the best chance. I mean, I'd have no chance, but I couldn't catch a ball at first, I don't think, coming over from Manny at this point.
Well, I promise you couldn't strike out a major leaguer.
There's no way.
Like if I lobbed it up at 40, they just because of their timing is so on like 90, they might have trouble if I lobbed it.
No. They may swing it, miss it 1.
Yeah.
Guess what they're going to do the second
Time
or
it
third
up.
one?
Yeah.
They're going to put it right off your forehead. Strikeout is throw a strike
That might
in
be
the
the
big
most
leagues.
original thing I've ever heard.
Maybe
in my
throw
life.
a strike.
That's insane.
Okay.
So anyway, he's gonna come in here today, and he's gonna eat this. Now, who's getting it for him? Elo?
I think he's supposed to pick it up on the way in.
Now that's it right there.
You don't trust him.
You've tampered with the sample potentially.
I think Ben should eat a jelly bean for thinking he can strike out a
Poor
major
man. We
leaguer.
just make him eat beans all
That's
day.
the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I know that I can't do any of that, but if I had to try something, like I know I can't hit, I know I can't do anything. At least I've seen guys swing and miss at really slow pitches.
I would wager that you couldn't get it over the plate from 60
I think
feet,
you would
6
walk them
inches.
4 straight pitches.
Well, eventually, given some warm-ups, I probably could. I mean, I've pitched in the past.
Yeah, when you were 12.
Yeah.
You're 48 years
When's
old.
the last time you threw a baseball?
Many, many years ago.
Yeah, right.
But I'd rather do that than like try to catch a pop fly. Or
Pop
if I
fly
had
would
to
be
do
embarrassing.
if I had to do something in baseball, you're mandating that I do something in baseball. That would probably be what I'd pick of the things that I had to do.
You could take a soft grounder to first base, pick it up, and step on the bag. I could do that. But other than that, man, anything.
I mean,
over,
if you can promise me it's very soft, yes. I wouldn't want to have to field a ground like a major league ground ball though.
When Tim Flan hits some, he wraps some pretty good fungos at you. You're like, oh, I can do this. Well, then the game starts, and somebody hits one at you, and you boot it. I mean, it's just the dumbest thing ever. But I'm interested to see how this goes. I'll tell you, I'm nervous to see how this goes. I picture the scene in Dumb and Dumber where they're eating those peppers, and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. More tingly than hot. And then Scraby just going, and vomiting all over the
Ketchup
studio.
and mustard bottle.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to put this on record. Adam, if you're listening, if this studio smells like vomit tomorrow, I'm walking in and I'm walking out.
Yep.
I'm not doing the show. Sorry. I'm just not happening. You need to do this in a controlled environment. There needs to be a lab of some sort.
There's a lot
with
of
plastic,
electrical equipment
plastic
over
on the
here.
floor, a big bucket. He's not going to be able to
like
do
a Dexter room.
He can't do a tie 10, man. There's no way.
I'm skeptical. We'll
I've
see what
never
happens.
eaten. I'm not a big spicy food person.
7's
so
the highest I've ever gone, and that was
It's
insanely
excruciating.
high.
My wife
Right?
orders a 5, and I'm like, nope, can't do
So-
it. Is it when you get to that level, a tie 10? Is it so spicy that you throw up, or is it
Could.
like your
you're not
tongue
used
your
to it.
tongue touches it? You're like, I'm done.
So he's going to do this early in their show. That's another massive
That's
mistake.
what I heard them say.
This should be the
2:15
very last
yesterday,
thing.
and then he's got his own show. Remember,
Oh,
after their
my
show
God.
ends, so by himself at the end of the day. I don't know how he's going to make it. I really don't.
Well, good luck, Scrape. I will be watching. I will be tuned in. I'll have the family around the TV. Like, I cannot wait for this. Please be okay, though, because I like Scraby a lot. He's a good kid, and I don't want him to have to go to the paramedic.
I want to mix things up today. We've been giving away Padres spring training tickets this week, but doing it in the end of the show. And I know there are a lot of people who like to listen early in the show and like the opportunity to win. So if you want to call in right now, 833-288-0973. We'll make the fourth caller our winner. A pair of tickets to see your team at a spring training game at the Peoria Sports Complex and qualify in our grand prize drawing. Flyaway trip for two, including spring training tickets, a Southwest Airlines gift card, and a one-night hotel stay made possible by the Peoria Sports Complex. Visit PeoriaBaseball.com. Call now, 833-288-0973. Still have the menus to hand out. Haven't done that yet, but we will do that when we come back. And we will talk about another Padre who we had to say farewell to officially yesterday, signing with another ball club. One of the top 5 home run hitters on the Padres last season is gone. Get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, it's a Throwback Thursday. Paulie has dug into the archives, and in our 7 o'clock hour, we'll go back a couple of years. Paulie found an old clip, another one of me, last week, of course. It also is 3 years ago this week. Anyone remember the cat lawyer? That was during the pandemic.
Oh,
that was this week 3 years ago. So we've got a couple of fun Throwback Thursday items for you coming up on the program today. We'll play a little Real or Fake as we do on Throwback Thursday. Try to qualify a listener for our trip to Las Vegas coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. That's actually just one segment away at this point. At 7:20, don't do this. We were just discussing a possible don't do this item involving a Major League Baseball player who is still looking for a job right now. There's actually a lot of players who are still looking for jobs.
The list is long.
I mean, today, officially, I believe spring training begins. The L.A. Dodgers pitchers and catchers report to camp. So spring training is now underway down there in Camelback Ranch, not far from the Peoria Sports Complex. Spring training is underway, and there are still dozens of unsigned players, including many of the top free agents of the offseason. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, Cody Bellinger, who have yet to pick a team as other guys are heading out. We will talk to Matt Strahm of the Philadelphia Phillies at 7:35 as we continue our Tier 1 tour, Day 2. We will take a look at the Phillies, talk to our friend who is one of the pitchers for the team. He's already in camp in Florida. So a lot of guys are in camp, and there are a lot of guys who are still waiting to figure out if they're going, am I going to Florida? Am I going to Arizona? What team am I going to? Where am I going to be playing this summer? It is a very, very slow developing market this offseason. And it's not like you're hearing a lot of rumors that, oh, yeah, these signings are imminent or anything. There's no smoke even right now. When was the last time you heard a Blake Snell rumor? It's been about 3 weeks.
It was the Yankees 3 weeks ago. He the rumor out of New York that he wanted 9 years, $270.
What was it, 6/150?
They were offering like 6/150,
and he wanted 9.
And he wanted 9, so they signed. Who did they sign instead? Stroman.
Oh, Stroman.
Stroman, yeah, for a couple of years at a much lower price.
Correct.
And now we haven't heard much from the Blake Snell market in weeks. So we will talk some Major League Baseball and continue our Tier 1 tour. Second half of the program, got our Reindl Report, headlines, all those fun things. But there was a move yesterday. It did involve a now former Padre. We'll get to that coming up after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your 15-minute instant drive-thru oil change. We've got scattered showers hitting the county, guys. Not sure if these are related, but we got some crashes in the North County, eastbound side of the 78 before Civic Center. This is blocking the fast lane. Also westbound 56 before Black Mountain. There's a crash. This vehicle spun out in the center divide. Traveling on southbound 67 right before Woodside, there is a collision. That's over the right shoulder. Stop by into the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. It usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for discounts, locations nearest you. Valvoline Oil Change Centers are open 7 days a week. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Congratulations to our winner of the spring training tickets. Who was it, Javi? That called in. Javi, congratulations for calling in. We'll have another pair to give away tomorrow. Next week, Annie and Elston are going to be giving away tickets, then Gwen and Chris, and then we've got another week of them, and then the grand prize drawing at the end of the month here of February for the Southwest Airlines and hotel stay as well to go with it. So yesterday, saw the news, and we were just talking a couple of days ago about whether the Padres should still be interested in bringing back Gary Sanchez as a third catching option and mainly maybe as a designated hitting option for this season. But instead, he signs with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday, a 1-year, $7 million contract. Also includes a mutual option for the second season. Now, those mutual options are almost never picked up. It's very rare that you see the perfect set of circumstances where, because if a player has a really great season, he'll decline his option because he wants to be a free agent. If a player has a really bad season, the team will decline it because, well, we don't want to pay you again for another bad year. So it really has to be like a very small, narrow window. But he got that second-year mutual option. Interesting move by the Brewers, who have traded away Corbin Burns.
Yes.
Which is usually viewed as a sign we're in rebuilding type mode, but then have gone out and signed Rhys Hoskins and now Gary Sanchez and have loaded up their lineup a little bit more in a division that's not overly strong. They remain one of the top contenders going into this 2024 season.
Yeah, it's a weird way that they're doing it. I saw a couple of guys tweeting yesterday, like, what is the Brewers' plan? But they added a nice right-handed bat. They've got a really good catcher there, so I would assume, Ben, he's probably going to take on some of the DH role for them. Somebody tweeted yesterday, and it made perfect sense to me. Honestly, one of the first guys that AJ has picked up in his tenure, off the scrap heap, essentially, because he was on 3 different teams, I think, last year before he got here, that actually came in and really contributed. Honestly, like some of the moves that we've made, traded for at the deadline, whatever, pitching wise, it's been fine. Yeah, you've really done a great job. But guys coming here and turning it on, finding some power, has just not been something we've seen a lot of as Padres fans. But Gary Sanchez was that outlier. And for whatever reason, man, he came here, he found his stroke, and hit a lot of home runs for us, and seemed to get his career back on track. And good for him. I'll say this. Maybe I'm the new Colonel Budget. I saw $7 million. I go, all right, good luck. Good luck. I want to ride with Campusano. Higashioka as the backup, Brett Sullivan as the backup to him. Yeah, you're going to get panicked if Campusano can't stay healthy. Then you've got Higashioka, who doesn't hit a ton, and Brett Sullivan, who doesn't hit a ton at all either. So that's what you're worried about. But I don't know, man. I think $7 million for a DH. I would probably spend $7 million on JD Martinez before I would spend it to have Gary Sanchez be a DH, right? So. Good for him, though.
With Sanchez, though, you do get the potential emergency backup catcher.
Sure. Yeah, you do. You absolutely do.
Well, we just saw last year how the Padres got burned on the Matt Carpenter signing. They saw him hit 15 home runs in 47 games for the Yankees, a really hot summer, and they went out and spent 2 years, $12 million, thinking he could duplicate or come close to duplicating that with the Padres. Gary Sanchez didn't do much more than that. He hit 19 home runs in 72 games for the Padres, had a really hot stretch. Is that something that will be repeatable another year after he had his years of struggling? Because Matt Carpenter, before 2022 with the Yankees, had, a couple of really rough, ragged years with the St. Louis Cardinals at the end of his tenure, like Gary Sanchez had a couple of rough years before his Padres summer. So will the Milwaukee Brewers be getting the Gary Sanchez, who was, a instant offense, plug-in power option, or will they be getting the Gary Sanchez of a couple of years ago that was bouncing around teams and wasn't really a great option? I don't know. Could go either way. If they get the home run guy, they'll probably be pretty happy. Now, even with the home runs, what did Gary Sanchez hit? Like 212?
Yeah, I mean, he's not
last year. It's a one-trick pony. He's a power guy. He'll hit you some home runs. When he's not giving you a lot. He did impress us all with maybe better defense than we expected.
Sure.
He worked well with Blake Snell on his Cy Young Award winning run. But he was never known for great defense before that. You don't pick up Gary Sanchez going, hey, at the very least, we're getting a great defensive catcher if he can't hit.
Yeah, C20 Moreno in the chat says Miller Park's going to be a nice ballpark for him to hit in, and that's probably true. And you see what he was able to do at Petco.
He's got the kind of power though that works anywhere.
Yeah.
If it works at Petco, it works anywhere.
No doubt.
I don't think he's not a wall scraper kind of guy.
No.
Where he'll need a couple of extra short balls to hit home runs. He'll hit them or he won't hit them, and we'll see. If he hits them, they'll be very happy with this signing. If he doesn't, wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to struggling again, just because it's hard to read something out of just 70 games and 100 and something, 200 at bats or so, whatever he got last season. So we'll see how Gary Sanchez does. Doesn't solve the Padres issue at designated hitter. Certainly, that remains we talk about outfield, which is the most pressing need going into spring training, but they also will need a designated hitter. And if Manny Machado is truly healthy at the start of the season, they'll need one right away, essentially, because they won't be able to plug Manny in there for the first couple of weeks. It's okay if you have to put in an Eggy Rosario for a little bit at third base or a Matt Batten for a couple of weeks. Yeah, you've got Manny to DH. But if if Manny's your DH, I don't think you want to rely on an Eggy Rosario or a Matt Batten to be your DH for a couple of weeks. You're giving up opportunities there to make your team better. So, yeah, DH is another position that AJ really needs to address before the start of the season.
Yeah, it's been super fun so far.
One other move involving a former Padre yesterday saw that Brent Honeywell signed a minor league deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And best of luck to Brent Honeywell with the Buccos, as he can make like $1.2 million, I think, if he makes the major league roster.
I was impressed with Brent Honeywell and what he had to come back from. But yeah, too many balls left up in the zone, hit a long, long way at potentially the worst time of the game many times. And he did have some good outings. He did have some stuff that you looked at and went, okay, I can see why you took a flyer on him.
I had high hopes from him.
I did, man. I liked him too. He's a good guy.
And I would say, and maybe you'll disagree, low key, one of our worst interviews we've ever done.
I'd say that's probably fair. I'd say that's fair. And we've done some bad ones, but that one, low key up there with one of the worst.
When we had high hopes for it going into it.
But I wasn't there. You guys did.
I know.
He was kind of put up on a tee for us by our pals Cespedes Barbecue.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, he's the best.
Yes.
You guys have to talk to him.
You got to talk to him.
You're going to love him.
And maybe that's on me and Paul and Woods. Maybe you would have
brought something out of
made him shine and blossom. But I must say, it was even in person. It was more of a challenge.
He was
than
very
I expected.
intense.
Yeah,
I don't know that Woods could have done a whole lot more.
He was locked. He was already game face locked in when we talked
out
to
of
him. Like it was 2 or 3 hours before the game, right?
Yeah.
But he was already like locked in. Like you could see that. Like that stare, he was thinking about the game and not about us or the interview.
Oh, so what do you like to do? Do you golf or what do you like to do outside of baseball? He's like, just baseball, 24 hours a day.
Maybe find that interview. We can play it on a Throwback Thursday. I was out that day. And I remember texting us, hey, how did it go? Not good. It's not good.
We did play it, I think.
Of course you
still
played
aired
it.
it.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Wasn't the finest work we've ever
Wasn't
done.
your best work. It happens.
There's always information.
It can't all be home runs like guests that Woods books,
right?
Like Lee Lowenfish.
Lee Lowenfish, one of the best we've ever had.
I mean, you want to get an impression of who the real Brent Honeywell was, and I think we got the real Brent Honeywell in our interview. It just wasn't someone who was particularly engaging with Paul and myself.
Well, in his defense, when you're standing on the field at his place of business, instead of, maybe sitting in a room somewhere with a microphone and, he's on the field at work. Like, I'm going to give you a better interview if I'm sitting in your podcast studio than I would if you're standing in the studio interviewing me between breaks, right? That just stands to reason. I've always I love talking to players. They're so fun most of the time. But yeah, I'm on their turf, on their field. Keep their heads ringing is in the background as loud as it can be. Hey, so what are your other interests instead of baseball? Like, they're like, I'm at work, dude. I don't want to do this right now. Get them before the game, Like, that's my advice.
And I think the last couple of years we've been chasing the next Matt Strahm in the Padres bullpen. And by that, I mean someone who's really engaging, fun to talk to, an easy conversation. Which is why we picked him as our representative for our Tier 1 tour. And we will hear from Matt Strahm, who is reporting to camp with the Philadelphia Phillies this week, coming up at 7:35 on day 2 of our Tier 1 tour. We're starting in the NL East. One day, every day, different team until the Padres opener against the LA Dodgers. If I've done the math correctly, and Paulie's made a chart, so I think that we have, it should time out perfectly that we'll finish up the Tier 1 tour just as the Padres get ready to open the season in Korea against the Dodgers.
I like it.
I don't want to say the phrase that I normally would say because we have FCC regulations, but do we get a little too ahead of ourselves maybe? We are previewing a different team every day, counting down to opening day.
Right.
And we said, we're not going to have a guest for every team.
Yeah, not everyone.
But we have friends like Katie Wu covers the Cardinals. When the Cardinals day comes up, she will be on the show.
Jessica Kleinschmidt for the A's.
Our first two guests for the first two teams were the manager and a current player.
I mean, we'll do the best we can.
We've set the bar high.
Yeah.
We get Steve Cohen on tomorrow to talk about the Mets.
So, what's your problem? A lot of tax, buddy. Lots of tax.
All right, we will play some Real or Fake when we come back, and a little Throwback Thursday as well. Next with Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. I may have a rant in me later today.
Oh, yes. I love a rant. What's it about?
Really, it's about the baseball media in general, but specifically about the Dodgers.
Oh, no.
And the coverage of the Dodgers.
Are they getting too much coverage, in your opinion?
It's not the amount of coverage, it's the tenor of the coverage.
Ooh, the tenor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to play devil's advocate when you're ranting against the Dodgers, but I kind of understand.
Well, I was reading Alden Gonzalez did a piece yesterday basically chronicling the Dodgers offseason and how they landed Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and how it all came together.
Sure.
Which is fine. I understand there's an appetite for that in certain quarters, and I don't mind him doing the piece, but there was a line in it where they said, and the Dodgers spent over $1 billion on 2 players, and then they went out and spent more on Glasnow, and they spent more in the offseason. And somehow, all around Major League Baseball, everyone acknowledges it's still very financially responsible of them. Like
it is crazy.
No one has the slightest iota of a problem that the Dodgers are spending this much. In fact, if anything, they're just getting heaped praised for the amount of money they have spent this offseason.
Now, this may hurt you to hear, but the way that they have set up their franchise with, I cannot remember the name of the shell that it's under, the ownership.
Yeah,
group.
Guggenheim Partners.
So the way that they have set it up, and I have heard this from many, many people high up in the game that we know and love, and they have said it's beyond brilliant. Now, if your son came to you, Ben, today and said, Dad, I'm going to buy this house, and the guy said I only have to put $200 down, but I owe him $14 million in 9 years, you'd say, that's a terrible deal. Don't do it. You're going to be buried for life, much like student loans and things like that. The way that they've set it up, it's almost impossible for them to lose money unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that they can afford it. It's just maybe it's the structure of baseball that frustrates me, that you're playing in the same league under the same rules, yet you have teams like the Padres who are relentlessly hammered when they spend money.
It really is
and
tough.
You have a team like the Dodgers that are effusively praised when they spend money. How are you operating an effective league under a set of rules that rewards some teams for spending and punishes other teams for spending? You are never you are never going to have basically an equal competitive playing field for your franchises under that system.
No, you never will. And it doesn't, that's the thing, is it doesn't mean that the little guy can't rise up.
Absolutely they can.
But it also doesn't mean that the big guy is doing anything wrong. It definitely sucks.
And that's why it was more the media coverage of the Dodgers rather than the Dodgers. It didn't bother me. They should be spending that. They're making that kind of money.
Yeah.
They should be spending that kind of money.
With that TV deal that they have, it's absurd. I mean, we're over here scrounging and pinching pennies and, counting on other sources of revenue. And that team, which, by the way, it's not like they get all that money and a quarter of the LA Metro can watch their games still. It's still not a perfect system there's Dodger fans in LA that can't watch the games, but they're still getting $8 billion in TV rev.
The NFL may not be the perfect system for its players with its hard salary cap, but man, is it a great system for fans, I think, especially for fans of smaller market teams that want to be able to turn it around. The NFL truly rewards the smarter organizations, the ones that draft well, that coach well, that do things well. Those are the teams that will have consistent success, and it has nothing to do with what city they play in. It could be Kansas City, it can be Green Bay, Wisconsin, or it could be in a big market as well. If you're doing things smart, you can have constant success in the NFL. And if you do things dumb, you can't spend your way out of it. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, there's some of that in baseball, but there's clearly a delineation of the teams in the different markets, and they're playing a different game, essentially. It's a different game in the offseason, depending on where you are and what kind of TV revenues and what kind of market size you're in.
Yeah, and there's this cycle in baseball that's interesting to me. And we're talking to Matt Strahm at 7:35. Let's be completely transparent with our audience.
It will be live for you.
It will be live for you. We pre-taped it at 5:30 this morning because guess what? Matty's at spring training and he's got work to do. He's already there. Yeah. So there's this cycle that happens in baseball, and talking about being a Padre fan or a Yankee fan or a Diamondbacks fan, what happens when you get a little taste of success? What do you, the fan, then expect? Okay, all right, we're knocking on the door. Time to open the checkbook. couple years ago, AJ Preller, Peter Seidler said, let's jam. We're the only game in town now. Let's jam. Let's add some really good pieces. Let's extend some of the pieces that we have. Those moves may not all work out in the long run, but you went for it. You tried it. You sat at the table with the big boys, and you went for it. You look at what Philly, and we're going to ask Matt Strahm about this. In fact, we already did. Hey, like, you guys have been knocking on the door. Very quiet offseason. I mean, massively quiet offseason. If you're a Phillies fan, aren't you livid right now? If you're a Texas Rangers fan, you just won the World Series. You're not going to bring back Monty? You're not going to bring that dude back? You're not going to bring back some of the guys that you have? There's something happening in baseball when you're looking around and everything is a little bit slow. The Padres, a little bit slow of an offseason. The Dodgers saw that and said, we're going all in. We didn't like getting beat by the Padres. We didn't like being beat by the Diamondbacks. Doesn't mean they're going to win one extra game in October. It doesn't mean they're going to win one extra game. It certainly puts them in a better position. But there is this weird cycle. We expect when things start going well, they're going to keep going well, spend more money. You're seeing a lot of teams, not just the Padres, say, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to mortgage our future anymore. We tried it. It didn't work. Let's do a little mini reset and get back to zero and go out and try to win.
Let's get a contestant on the line for real or fake here. Call in now, 833-288-0973. Qualify for our trip to Las Vegas. Got our game coming up here in about 3 minutes. And while you call in, we've got a Throwback Thursday clip. Now, we always point out anytime one of us has, what would you call it? A bit of a frog in the throat,
yeah.
some hoarseness, our hacksaw moments.
Right.
As we refer to them on this program.
Yeah.
And Paulie rolled it back. This was 2 years
Kendry
ago.
Morales with a home run. Vladimir Guerrero had key hits along the way. And the Angels batting order.
Got peanut skin in there?
Me,
That's the worst.
wore out the Red Sox pitching staff.
Why don't you take a break and a drink of water?
Now, Ben is guilty of that, too. He will power through it.
He will.
And you
I'll
can hear it.
stop
You
down.
can hear it creeping up.
You're like, oh,
Creeping
God.
up the throat.
Here it comes.
And it's like, dude, just take
Stop down.
a quick timeout.
Yeah.
Cough. You're good.
Excuse me.
So, this was 2 years ago, February 6th, 2022. And I don't remember what we did with this on our show, but this was actually from Ben's other job. He would say his primary job, but Channel 10. And it was some outtakes. And I guess you were really under the weather that week.
I definitely must have been quite.
I mean, you can hear it immediately as soon as you start talking, but it gets so much worse.
Harold Varner III with just his second ever worldwide win, and it comes in dramatic fashion on the 72nd hole in the Middle East.
Oh, you're dying.
Well, another head coaching vacancy in the NFL was filled today. The Miami Dolphins are Sorry. Can we pick it up from that story and I'll just edit it together?
Oh, my God.
Coming off the cold. All right,
Are
just
you
keep it
sure?
up.
I'm coming off a cold. No kidding.
No. Yeah.
How about a lozenge?
Well, another head coaching vacancy in the NFL was filled today. The Miami Dolphins are hiring 38-year-old Yale grad Mike McDaniel to replace Brian Flores.
If I was your boss, I would have said, hey, Higgins, why don't you hit the road, bud?
I think they did. I think they did at that point.
You sound like death.
See, the NFL was filled today. The Miami Dolphins are
I think that was after I had taken some days out for being sick. At some point, you have to come back, right?
Not if you're talking like that.
Jeff said, I need a Halls just listening to this clip.
When I do get a cold.
Yeah,
I
really?
Really? I may only be sick for a day or two, but that sticks with me for like 3 weeks.
I
don't feel like I can just say, the voice isn't quite right yet. I'll be back in 3 weeks. And
Yeah,
just
you can't.
You can't really say that.
Guess what? You're fired.
But when I start talking and going on a long monologue, soliloquy,
You're just done.
It creeps
head
right
coaching
back in
vacancy
for
in the
like 2
NFL was
weeks.
filled today. The Miami Dolphins are
It's the voice and it's the snot nose. Look, it just kills you. This is so hard when you don't feel good.
It all just comes right back. You think, yeah, I'm feeling better. And then you start talking and you go, oh, no.
I'm going to die.
It's coming right up.
Fantastic. Yeah. How did we get that? Did he send that to us?
I don't know.
I
don't remember.
I don't remember.
I could listen to it all day. He likes me.
That will be Matt Scraby later today here in the studio as he eats his Thai 10 spicy food.
Coming off a cold. Yeah, no, you're not coming off that at all. It's still very much there.
Yeah, it's still there. Not coming off of anything, as a matter of fact.
All right, ready to play? Let's get to a little real or fake.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
We'll have another Throwback Thursday clip coming up, I think, in our 8:35 segment this morning. All right, we got Dave on the line as our contestant today on Real or Fake. Hello, Dave.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Dave.
All right, you have a chance to qualify for our 2-night getaway at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino and tickets to Air Supply at the International Theater on May 31st and June 1st of this year. Check out the Westgate's room renovation, $70 million worth, newly designed premier rooms, part of the legendary Vegas Fun at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. All right, you need 4 out of 7, right, to qualify. Woodsy is here to help you out. If you have any questions, here is your category. Anybody out there headed to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl? Need some non-gambling ideas to spend some time while you're in Sin City. Today, I bring you a list of exhibitions, attractions, and Hall of Fames. All you have to do is tell me if it is a real Las Vegas museum or a fake I have invented to fool you. Now, Woods, you probably, I get the sense when you go to Vegas, you're not looking for museums to attend. Cultural exhibits.
Is the Spearmint Rhino a museum?
It is not.
Kind of.
It is not. Dave, are you ready to play?
Sure.
All right.
Let's try this.
Round 1.
Let's go do it.
The Pinball Hall of Fame. Real or fake, Dave? Pinball Hall of Fame.
Wow. I don't know about you, Woods. I'm thinking fake. What do you think?
I'll roll with you, man. I think I'm going to say fake with you.
We're going to go fake.
You
crapola.
absolutely can attend the Pinball Hall of Fame in Las Vegas.
Okay.
That's where it exists. All right, round 2.
We're all right.
Round 2, here we go. The Erotic Heritage Museum.
Ben.
Real or fake?
Ben. Ben.
Erotic heritage. I could go with real on that.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Does it sound good to
Yeah.
both of you? You
Yeah.
probably want to go there, Woods? Yes,
Yeah.
you would?
Absolutely.
Then go. It's real.
Yes. Yes.
All right, that's 1 point for Dave. Erotic.
Yes. Thank you, Paulie.
Erotic.
Yes, thank
Round number 3. The Museum of Selfies. Real or fake? The Museum of Selfies.
Sounds so fake, but
God, who would ever want to go to that?
well, Ben's been posting some selfies. Maybe.
I'm going to say fake. What do you think, Woods?
I think it's fake.
It's real.
Let's go fake.
That's embarrassing. I'm
It
embarrassed.
is real. I don't know what kind of selfies are good enough to make it into a museum. They have to be spectacular, I would think. All right, we have 1 out of 3 so far. We're going to round number 4. The World's Best Dam Museum. DAM.
DAM.
World's Best Dam
Right.
Museum. Real or fake?
I'm just going to flat out say fake.
I think it's real.
What about Hoover Dam? He says fake, Paulie.
Oh, he's
Fake.
right. Did you get that from Vegas Vacation?
No, I just came up with that one. I figured,
I think
the
they
Hoover
did
Dam.
that. Welcome to your dam tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Kind
Little pun.
of sneaky.
Yeah, a little sneaky.
Little pun
That's
there.
our
little
Ben.
pun.
Little
So
sneaker.
sometimes I make, that the real ones sound fake and the fake ones sound real.
I
So
know.
sometimes I'll make one sound really fake that showed it
Just
actually
get to
is
the next
fake.
one for the
Fine,
love of
that's
God.
2 out of 4. We go to round number 5. The Museum of Pornography.
Ben.
Real or fake?
Ben.
The Museum of Pornography.
He really is coming out
Real
of his
or
shell.
fake? Well, it is Las Vegas.
Come on, Woods.
That sounds fake. That's too overt.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Even for Vegas? All right. What do you think, Dave?
I'm gonna say fake.
He's going to say fake.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Good
fair.
call. Good call.
All right, you're one away from the win. Let's go to
That came from his mind, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's go to round number 6 then.
Deviant.
The Burlesque Hall of Fame. Real or fake?
So horny.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That sounds real. Burlesque is a thing. There.
No, I went to this one in Amsterdam. It was completely different, I'm sure, but we'll go real.
He's going to go real.
Let's go real.
Oh, man.
Dave's a winner! Congratulations. So, yeah, just to be clear, real Erotic Heritage Museum, real Burlesque Hall of Fame, fake Museum of Pornography. Last one here for you, Woods, the Punk Rock Museum.
That's real.
Real. Have you been there?
I have not, but I want to.
You
go.
could go there. You'd probably enjoy that one.
really
Dave, hang on the line. Paul,
Erotic.
get your information and put you into the drawing for the trip to Las Vegas, where you can see some of these museums yourself.
Can you save Dave going, yeah, after you play the sound, please? I'd like that. Like that. Whew.
All right, Don't Do This is coming up next. Woods, you've got a Major League Baseball player. Bad look, maybe, for a Major League Baseball player?
Down bad, I think is what the kids call it.
What is it called?
Down bad.
Down bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, so you can explain it to me next.
Down bad.
With Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, back after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Got our Tier 1 tour. Matt Strahm joining us in our next segment. Stay tuned for that. Right now, Don't Do This is brought to you by the Craft Taco in Sorrento Valley. The Craft Taco has some of the best quality tacos in all of San Diego. Go to thecrafttaco.com. Take a look at their happy hour specials today. Thecrafttaco.com. Do that. All right, I saw the video of this yesterday, and it made me a little queasy. And I think you felt the same way. But there was a
unbelievable.
There was a guy who was videoed having climbed to the top of the Las Vegas Sphere. Now, you've been to the Sphere.
It is so enormous.
It's spherical and large.
It is very...
It feels like it would be very easy to fall off of the Sphere.
Watching the Grammys over the weekend, they threw back to the Sphere and U2 nominated winner or whatever, and they had a drone flying around that thing, and I was like getting sick watching the drone footage.
It's so huge when you go inside and look straight up before any of the lights have started. You feel like you're in Star Wars.
Sitting at the
close,
top.
what is the actual exterior look like?
You know, I didn't. So when we showed up, it was obviously lit.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Stuff
It just
was
looks
on the outside, and you're like, it looks smooth. It's not.
It's not
clear.
completely smooth.
It can't be, because somebody had to climb up there and insert panels and tighten screws and things like that. It's not going to be smooth like a ball.
I'm sure whoever put it together was wearing some sort of safety harnesses.
100%.
There was a lot of precautions.
There was
taken.
a man just walking up the Sphere yesterday, and it made my heart. And all I thought was, I don't want to watch this guy slide down the side of this thing and die. I don't want to see it. I saw a couple of clips of him just making his way up to the top.
You've seen videos of guys who free climb skyscrapers.
I can't, man. It makes me sick.
Daredevils who tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon. Yeah, none of that is entertainment for me. It's
Correct.
not enjoyable. But clearly, if you fall, there's no hope for you.
No, zero.
You're
done.
You either make it or it's done. You're over.
Yeah, it was. He got arrested, but yeah, I mean, you want to get eyeballs on yourself for your cause. This is a good week to do it out at Super Bowl week. Then again, anytime a guy climbs the Sphere, I think you're going to get eyeballs on it. Speaking of eyeballs, I saw plenty of eyeballs yesterday. Got plenty of messages and tweets about one Trevor Bauer, who has taken to Twitter to try to get back into the big leagues. And, as a team that is in need of pitching, we are not alone here in San Diego. He did an appearance on a podcast with Theo Vaughn. I did not watch it. I didn't even watch any clips from it. But I did watch the interview Trevor did with WFAN in New York. And I think we talked about it the next day. Trevor went to Twitter, as he does, and he's angling for a job back in the big leagues. And he said this: Blake Snell is going to get hundreds of millions of dollars on a multi-year deal. And he should. He deserves it. For a team that doesn't want to commit multi-years, hundreds of millions of dollars, or many elite prospects for a Cy Young Award winner, they could sign me for league minimum and pay zero incremental dollars over what they have to pay that roster spot anyway. Just another option for teams that want to win and don't want to break the bank. So I said this to a couple people yesterday in my DMs, and I'm not in favor of signing Trevor Bauer here in San Diego. He is a circus. He was a circus. He still has a pending sexual assault case against him. That's the one to me where 3 other cases have been settled. There's still a pending case out there. I don't know that you want that kind of circus in your organization. And I think the thing that bugged me the most is like, hey man, if you want to campaign for yourself, you leave Blake Snell out of it. Like, Blake Snell is going to get that money. Blake Snell also doesn't have a sexual assault case pending against him right now, right? Like, I didn't think Blake Snell's name needed to be really invoked in his attempt on his comeback.
Yeah, even though he said, well, and he deserves it,
right.
The money. You're still basically trying to undercut Blake Snell, and basically, yeah, I can come in and do what Blake Snell did at a fraction of the cost. I think here the issue is, if Trevor Bauer wants to get back into baseball, his best path is not through self-advocacy on social media. It's through putting his head down and not popping up on anybody's radar for a while and showing that simply going to do what most baseball players do, and that is show up, do the work, not make myself the center of attention or a circus that a potential team won't want. That's why teams are staying away from Trevor Bauer. I mean, there's certainly the question of performance, but teams give guys chances who don't work out, for little money all the time. It's the fear of the circus that comes along with him. And whether or not they believe him or don't believe him, they know they're getting the circus either way. And he is reinforcing that belief by going and trying to advocate now for himself on social media. He has an agent who can go and talk to the teams and say, hey, Trevor is willing to come in and just quietly do his stuff, and you can sign him for the minimum. He just wants an opportunity. By doing this in public, I think it makes teams less likely to want to sign Trevor Bauer rather than more likely.
I think the same thing.
You can't shame a team into signing you. You
Right.
just can't.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's ever worked. You've shamed a team into signing you.
He's absolutely allowed to play in the big leagues now. He's allowed to. No team wants him. No team has offered him a contract yet. So that's my thing was Blake Snell's got nothing to do with your situation, Trevor, at all. Blake Snell is absolutely deserving, and I know Trevor said that, but the fourth pending sexual assault case is the one that makes my eyebrows go up and say, no, I think we're good.
All right, finally a little do this on a Thursday.
DD mega doo-doo.
And this is just a small one, but I thought it was kind of fun as I saw it yesterday. Kanan Smith-Njigba, who is a baseball player, was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but was claimed yesterday by the Seattle Mariners. Outfielder was claimed off of waivers, which now puts him in the same town as his brother, Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is a breakout wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. So if Kanan Smith-Njigba makes it to the big leagues this season with the Seattle Mariners, he'll get to be playing in the same city as his brother, who has become a pretty young star for the Seahawks, catching passes from Geno Smith up there.
I like that.
I kind of like it too. I think it's a good bit. Obviously, Kanan hasn't quite had the name recognition yet his brother was able to achieve in the early portion of his NFL career, but good athlete, 24-year-old, both of them out of Texas, and now playing in the same city in two different professional teams. I doubt that that's happened very often, that you have two brothers in different big league sports in the same city at the same time.
I love that.
Which is pretty cool. I thought it was kind of fun. So good luck to the Smith-Njigba clan for next season in baseball and football.
It's a good do this
on a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, it is time to fire up the bus again. When we come back, day 2 of our Tier 1 tour, previewing each team as we head into spring training, getting ready for the season. And yesterday, Skip Schumacher joined us, the manager of the Miami Marlins. Today, pitcher Matt Strahm of the Philadelphia Phillies will be with us as we talk about the Phillies offseason and what Matty and that club is expecting as they get ready to report to spring training. That is coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. You know, if you miss any part of Men in Woods, you can always go back to the moments you missed with the Chapters feature on the free Odyssey app. Just download the Odyssey app, AUDACY, search for 97.3 The Fan. Tap on our show, find your favorite moments. Paulie does such a great job in cataloging our show, chopping it up for different platforms and places that you can find it however you really are. Whatever platform you're on, you can usually find Ben and Woods pretty easily. And Paulie, we thank you for that. All right, Tier 1 tour. Tier 1 tour, day 2. We'll check traffic. When we come back, our conversation from earlier this morning, just before the show started, had a chance to chat with Matt Strahm of the Philadelphia Phillies. That's coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a few things that might slow you down. Crash has been cleared out of middle lanes on northbound 805 before Governor, and traveling west on the King Freeway right before the 15. An accident involving several vehicles. It's all over to the right shoulder. Stalled car on the center divide, South 5 Coastline right before Del Mar Heights. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Day 2 of our Tier 1 tour, taking a look at every Major League Baseball team, and we are in the NL East, and joining us right now from the Philadelphia Phillies, our friend, former Padre Phillies relief pitcher Matt Strahm is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Now, I say relief pitcher, but I don't know how the Phillies are going to use you this season. Matty, how you been? How's your offseason going?
It's good. It's good. Thanks for having me. And I've started to drop the relief in front of pitcher, and I just call myself a pitcher.
Fair enough.
Probably smart to do, because again, the way baseball is now, you never know what a GM or a manager's got in mind for you. I wanted to ask you, in fact, about your GM. Now, we've had a fairly slow offseason here in San Diego. I think some of that was to be expected. Dave Dombrowski, Phillies GM, a little bit of a slow offseason for him. He does make moves at the deadline, as we all know, but how's it been? I mean, I know you guys have a lot of great players and a lot of good arms already right now. How do you feel about that as a member of the team?
No, I mean, I feel like we have everything we need. I think going into the offseason, Nola was a big question mark, and it was good to see them lock him down and bring him back. He's been an anchor for this staff for almost a decade. So, I mean, to lose a guy like that would have been detrimental, but luckily we got him back. And, I mean, this team's done it the last 2 years with what they have. And, I mean, we return almost everybody but Kimbrel and Hoskins. So, I mean, it's a great team, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that Aaron Nola extension was one of the first moves of the offseason. It feels like it was like years ago.
6 months at least.
But how important having Nola and Wheeler back, top of the rotation, feels like the Phillies. That's a great place for any organization to start.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, when you have two aces in your staff, it makes it easy on the bullpen for sure. Knowing that you got those two coming up every fifth day, so they're huge for this team, and I mean, can't speak volumes enough of their workload and what they do for us. So excited to have them back, and excited to get this year going.
Well, talking to Matt Strahm here, pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, on Ben and Woods this morning, and man, we've talked to you before about some of the.
It's
guys.
Like calling us content creators
Right.
instead of radio hosts. You just keep it as wide as possible.
Yeah, keep it as wide as possible, because you never know where the road may take you. But man, you look around your clubhouse, and that's got to be a refreshing thing to see a lot of familiar faces. I know there's other teams. It happens here in San Diego where you show up to spring training, you're like, oh, there's 14 new teammates I got to meet. How important is that for you and the guys to have continuity almost every single year?
Yeah, it just makes the workplace more enjoyable. The last 2 years for me coming into a new clubhouse, it's the first month of spring is all about just getting to know your team. And I mean, don't want to say where you fit in. It sounds like high school, but it's just getting to know the guys, and I mean, just getting a feel for what they do. And this clubhouse is unlike anything I've ever experienced. You got guys like Schwarber who are just, I mean, accepting of everything, and then also Schwarber can flip the switch and straighten up anything too. So it's awesome to see, and the amount of respect that floats around our clubhouse is something I've never seen before.
Matt, how hard is it to say goodbye to teammates as well. And, a guy like Rhys Hoskins who signs as a free agent somewhere else. I know he was hurt a lot of last season, but that's a reality of being a Major League Baseball player. Every single year you've got to say goodbye to guys, and it is a new team every year. What is that like?
No, I mean, it's I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but after being in the game so long, it's almost like you become numb to it because it is part of the business. Like, I mean, it was a big loss for us last year losing Jay Hay in the middle of the year. I mean, he didn't play much for us, and that's kind of why they let him go, to give him an opportunity to let him play. But just his presence in the clubhouse and what he brought to the camaraderie of guys was unbelievable. And then for that just to be ripped away one day, it was kind of took us a week to shake it. And it's it's part of the business, and once you're in the game, you understand it, and it's going to be you one day. So you take every day and, I mean, enjoy it.
I think this is Matt Strahm here on Ben and Woods this morning. I think you guys report February 13th. I do believe that's what I read. And,
Yep.
You guys have been knocking on the door the last couple of years. I know you're not in camp yet. What do you suspect the tone of camp will be? I know that you can never panic, and you especially never panic in February. But I know that winning a World Series is really important to the guys on your team. It seems like you guys have the makeup where it's clearly World Series win or bust. Do you expect the camp to be different this year, or loose and much of the same, having fun until it's time to get to work?
No, I think guys are chomping at the bit. I actually came down to Florida right after the New Year, and there was already 5 or 6 guys down here with me, and I'm actually sitting in the parking lot right now waiting to go in to the complex. But
man, you're always early. You're always down there early trying to get work in. We used to see you at fantasy camp. I like that. I've always liked that and admired that about you.
Yeah, no, but I mean, right now here a week early, there's already probably half of us here. So it's these guys are chomping at the bit, and I think being so close the last 2 years has them even more hungry. So it's gonna be a fun year.
Matt, you spend so many of your early years of your career just trying to get to the big leagues, then trying to stay in the big leagues, then hopefully like getting a contract. You've done all those things. Are you at this stage now where you feel like now you have to start taking younger players under your wing, like an Orion Kerkering who came up last year in that Phillies bullpen? Where do you see yourself in terms of that kind of role?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big brother. I got my younger brother. I feel like I've always kind of been a teacher, kind of just always have had it in me. But I've definitely noticed over the last couple of years, I get a lot more questions from the younger guys and everything. I mean, I enjoy talking ball with anyone. I mean, that's why I'll go golf with Woodsy. It's not because I enjoy him. So, I love baseball. So, I mean, I can talk with anybody as long as they want to talk about it. And I mean, I don't like the small talk of video games. that will easily get me to walk up and move. So I love ball, and I'm very fortunate to have the career I've had, and anything I can pass down to these younger guys, I mean, I'm all ears for them, and whatever they want from me, they can just ask.
Why'd you have to bring Blake Snell into the conversation?
Oh.
Whoa.
No one small talks video games better than Blake Snell.
That's fair, I guess. I didn't even think about that, but that's fair.
Have you seen, Maddie, the meme of you going around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Have you seen this one, Ben? It
No.
says, when you look like you're on your way to steal the Declaration of Independence, and it's Maddie turned around, the hair's flowing, and I went, oh, man, you got memed. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, actually, funny story about that. My brother and sister and our significant others, we all went to Cabo this off season, and we drew names out of a hat to see, and you bought that person a phone case that they had to carry around the whole trip. And so I got my sister, and I got her a Nicolas Cage phone case. So, and he was wrapped in a banana. It was kind of hilarious.
It's fantastic.
Aren't you more Con Air Nick Cage than National Treasure Nick Cage? I would think.
It's true.
Yeah, definitely more Con Air.
It's fantastic, Maddie. Well, listen, you guys got the division isn't getting any easier. The Marlins were an upstart team last year. The Mets, I still look at the Mets and go, I look at them kind of like the Padres. They spent a ton of money last year. It didn't really work out in their favor, but they've made some kind of under the radar moves. Of course, you got the Braves. I mean, it's going to be a battle again, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the NL East, in my opinion, is becoming the powerhouse of Major League Baseball. I mean, what Atlanta's doing down there is, I mean, they're a powerhouse with all the young talent they have, and they have it locked up for a long time. So it's fun to compete in a division like this. I like the new format of playing everybody, so we don't have to beat up on each other for 16 to 20 games a year. But it's going to be fun.
All right, before you go, Matty, who's going to win the Super Bowl? And this is a trick question. As a Philadelphia sports guy, you kind of have to say Eagles no matter what, even if they're not playing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's Taylor Swift's lucky number is 13, so Brock Purdy's got to win it, right?
Okay. I like that. Good take on the Super Bowl. Matty, it is great to talk to you. Good luck at spring training. We will see you when you make your visit to San Diego at some point this season, but we really appreciate the time.
No problem, guys. Stay well.
Thanks, buddy.
Good stuff from Matt Strahm, who, by the way, the Philadelphia Phillies, we feel like the Padres have been very quiet this offseason. The first two teams in our Tier 1 tour have both been even quieter than the San Diego Padres,
and
honestly.
Both playoff teams last year, he talked about that cycle earlier of, man, if you're in the fan base of the Marlins or the Phillies, you're like, okay, well, we're knocking on the door. What have we really done to improve the ball club? I think Dombrowski's such an active GM, too. It really surprises me that they've been as quiet as they have been.
Bringing back Aaron Nola is obviously big, but it doesn't make you better.
It makes you the same.
You're hoping it makes you the same, but, of course, Aaron Nola is also getting older.
Right.
So, essentially, you're not getting better at all, and you lost a couple of players in Rhys Hoskins particularly. Now, he was hurt, so he didn't contribute last year, but he's certainly someone you'd like to have on your team. That's been a very quiet offseason for the Phillies.
And I think, Skip Schumacher probably isn't going to come on the airwaves and say he's disappointed with, the lack of moves from the Marlins, but when you get, that close and you weren't really supposed to be there, it does stand to reason. I don't think that's something that's illogical for a fan base to go, all right, so made the playoffs, we're definitely going to spend some money and improve our team. And in both of those cases, they really haven't. They really haven't done that at all. I mean, we don't have outfielders. They don't. The Marlins don't have a shortstop. They need somebody that can go out and play short for them on a daily basis. Kind of an important position. We have plenty of shortstops here in San Diego, but
if there was only a way you could somehow, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a trade
here's
players.
Here's what we'll do. You trade us an outfielder, we'll trade you a shortstop. We'll put a hard date on it. We'll call it the trade deadline. Yeah, let's do something. Something's got to happen. Teams have those two teams in particular, the first two teams we started with. I mean, if you're a Phillies fan, you got to be banging your head against the wall. And you may love what you have right now, but you can always improve your team. You can always look and say, what happened to us down the stretch? They're such a streaky team. They were so hot. Everything was a beach ball. And then all of a sudden they ran into the Diamondbacks and it was, no, not anymore. So how do you improve on that? Maybe you like what you have. You'll add at the deadline. But, I guess I could see standing pat.
Or maybe you feel like, hey, let's keep giving these guys a chance together.
Yeah.
And maybe if we don't do anything, they'll just continue to gel and get better and better. Sometimes we forget and AJ Preller never does it, so we never get that feeling.
The
but
continuity.
Just some continuity and giving guys, just because they lost a couple of games to the Diamondbacks doesn't mean they failed last season. Had a remarkably successful season in 3 bad days, essentially against the Arizona Diamondbacks. You don't blow things up or necessarily want to change the chemistry much from a team that was really good last year. So we have a very impressive start to the Tier 1 tour. We had a manager, an active manager on yesterday, and a key pitcher from a team on today. Paulie looked a little ill earlier, though. He's going, I can't I don't
Keep this
necessarily
up, guys.
keep up this pace as we go forward. Tomorrow's Tier 1 tour schedule takes us into the New York Mets camp. And
Pete Alonso joining the program tomorrow at 7:35.
We're still working. Steve Cohen, the owner of the team, is going to be with us.
And Cisco Lindor.
Yeah.
We don't actually.
Great.
We don't have a hard guest booked for that Tier 1 tour stop, but I had the idea. Now, this would be cool. Eric Chavez, San Diegan, he's the hitting coach for the New York Mets, was the bench coach. He's the hitting coach. I thought that would be good, and we all agreed. And then Paulie goes, I don't have Eric Chavez's number, so we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Looking for it, but I mean, they're not all going to be A-list guests, I would think. We may not even have guests for some of the Tier 1 tours.
We won't.
But it is an awfully big start. You might as well aim high, for as good as we can get.
How about Italian Paul?
Italian Paul would be a great guest.
You know what? You could do a lot worse than Italian
He's
Paul.
a Mets fan.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, too. I'll do that in a second.
We may have
All right,
Italian
if I can't
Paul
get Eric
tomorrow.
Chavez
But
or Pete Alonso or Frankie Lindor.
But Italian Paul might be available tomorrow if we can get him up early enough.
Brandon Nimmo.
All right, day 2 of the Tier 1 tour complete. And when we're done,
somebody in this building has
baseball season will have started.
Somebody knows Eric. Somebody knows Eric Chavez.
Someone can help us get him on, I'm sure.
Make it happen.
All right, we'll come back, reset everything. 2 hours to go. It's Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Throwback Thursday.
All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Thursday, February 8th, here on Ben and Woods. Thanks so much for being here. However you choose to consume us, we really, really appreciate it. There are many, many ways to get the Ben and Woods program. But, man, we certainly appreciate all of you that make the effort. I know that there are a lot of options out there. Thank you for making us your preferred option of choice. My name is Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. I went to pick up my youngest yesterday after I had an appointment and went by the school and picked him up. And his teacher, Miss Maddie, says, "Well, it's good to see you here." And I said, "Yeah, good to see you." She goes, "Taylor told us that you and Hannah were in jail last night." And I said, "Excuse me?
What did you do?"
And she said, he said you guys
forgot to mention that.
were in jail.
This is very interesting.
And I said, no, we're not in jail and weren't
It's
in
more
jail.
of a holding cell than officially jail.
If you consider Benihana a holding cell, then yes, we were in a holding cell. We were at a delicious family dinner the night before, sucking down,
Again, and Taylor is three.
Yeah.
Is there possibly some sort of misperception, or was he just being a troublemaker?
I think he's. I just think that he's. I don't know that he. I think he might be insane. I have no idea where that came from.
Maybe he had a dream that you were in jail and just couldn't delineate the difference between reality and a dream.
We put him to bed and Hannah woke him up, so nobody was in jail. It's been a while, but
Have you spoken to him about this?
I did, and he just gave me this impish little grin. And I said, "What did you tell your teachers?" And he just sat there and kind of smiled. I go, "Hey, don't tell your teachers we were in jail. We weren't in jail, buddy, all right?" And she then grabbed me. She goes, "One day after your kids are grown up, I think you and Hannah should have all of the teachers over for dinner, and we can hear all of the Taylor stories." And I go, what don't I know? Like, how bad is it? Because they're really good. And your kids went to preschool, I'm assuming. They don't.
Same preschool, I think,
same school.
as your kids.
They
yeah.
don't tell you a lot. They could rat your kids out for 75, 80 things a day they did. He hit somebody in the head. He wasn't sharing. Like, you don't want to inundate the parent. If it's something major, they tell you.
I feel like if you were a preschool teacher and all you were doing was saying all the bad things that someone's kid did, then you'd feel like I'm not doing my job very well.
Correct.
I'd want to make it seem like all the kids were
perfect
angels and did great all day, because then I look better doing my job.
They wear a lot. They wear a lot, and they don't tell you a lot of information that goes on. Now, if sometimes you show up to pick them up and they got a little bit of a black mark on their face, or they got a red mark. They fell, or this happened. Okay, fine. It's something. If you ever have to address something serious, they'll tell you that. But they keep the minutia away from you. He wasn't sharing at playtime. He didn't draw when we told. They don't give you that stuff. But when she grabbed me and said, "Someday we need to sit down and I want to hear all the Taylor stories," I went, "What?" He's actually pretty good at home. I mean, he's pretty good at home, and I thought he was pretty good at school, but he's in there spinning yarns, and did tell them that we were in jail. And I just was like, I don't know what to tell you. We weren't. We went to Benihana, as you know. We had a great family birthday celebration and watched the best Benihana artist I've ever seen. It was really quite a great night for us. But
was there anything you watched on television that involved jail?
No.
I'm just trying to think.
We watched
how could he have gotten this idea?
I don't know, man. We watched White Men Can't Jump with Bo before bed, and that was it. And we played a little football, and I don't know where he got the they were in jail last night. I mean, that's serious. Like, if you're a preschool teacher, you're like, man, my parent,
I mean, you're a public figure. You don't want all of a sudden it to be reported, like, according to sources.
Right, according to sources.
Stephen Woods and his wife, Hannah, were in jail last night. Now, that's an unverified report. We haven't been able to speak with, sheriff's officers in San Diego, but we do have a source who has said that they were in jail last night. Now, their source is 3 years old.
So Kelly says in the chat, and this is what you worry about. Kelly said, this is a real thing. Kelly says, kids tell teachers so many things about their family. Sometimes it's hard to look at parents with a straight face. like, I'm sure that there are serious things. Our house is not a serious house. I mean, you guys know us. We are breaking balls all the
Mommy
time.
told Daddy to shut up last night.
Right, exactly. Like, it's pretty, we're strict, but we have some loose rules in the home, and it's a fun house, I think, and I think our kids think it's fun. But yeah, man, you do see kids at school, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if it's that way for them. And so, yeah, I'm sure they get an earful. But I did panic a little bit when she told me. I was like, no, there's no jail. We weren't in jail. Nobody went to jail. It just, it made me a little nervous.
God, that's funny.
Little turd.
My parents were smoking something funny smelling last night.
My mommy goes to the garage a couple times a night, comes back smelling funny.
Big bomber class before busting on your head.
Kids are more observant than you realize.
They
though.
really are, dude. They really are.
Big bomber class before busting on your head.
Oh, God. Yeah, you hear that song a lot in our house, Polly, to be honest with you. Holy crap. Your kids ever do anything like that to you when you were little, or like rat you out to the teacher for anything?
Not that I was ever made aware of, I don't think.
Like,
but
oh my
like someone in our chat said, yeah, his wife's preschool teacher, you're only hear about 0.4% of what actually goes on.
That's
at
exactly
preschool.
right.
I got one that I just remember that I did.
Nice.
Oh God. So we did the carpool. Like, my best friend that lived, 5 or 6 blocks away.
Right.
One week his mom would come pick me up. The next week my mom we'd go pick him up and drive to school. For whatever reason, I was probably 8, 9 years old. I didn't like wearing my seatbelt.
Yeah, didn't want to wear it.
Totally understand why I'm supposed to wear it. Didn't like it. So I would get in their car and never put on my seatbelt, and always have to be told, Paul, we're not moving until you put on your seatbelt. And I don't know why, but at 8 years old, I just thought to say, oh, my parents don't make me wear my seatbelt, which was a total lie.
Total lie.
Of
and
course
now
they
your
made me
mom,
wear-
your mom looks like a turd.
And and my buddy's mom was like, huh, that's interesting. And so she ended up calling my mom and going, just so you know, Paul's telling us that you guys don't make him wear a seatbelt.
And your mom is panicked on the phone. No, we do.
Yeah.
No, we do. And you're just, the way it gets around, man, it's not something you want.
She's watching right now, I'm sure.
Encinitas is a very small town, dude.
It's funny what you remember, because Paul's story reminds me of the couple of times that I would drive in a car with my grandfather.
In the Rolls.
No, the other grandfather, my dad's dad,
in the
Benz, who drove a Jag, actually.
Oh, my God.
And he never put on a seatbelt. And I was, as a kid, like, I looked at that and I didn't want to say anything, but I felt like, you have to put on your seatbelt, Grandpa. You can't not wear a seatbelt.
He's old school. They did
you
not
can't
wear
do
their
that. But back
seatbelts,
then,
dude.
they just didn't. No, I mean, when he started driving cars, they didn't even have seatbelts.
they
So,
didn't.
now they invent this thing, and now they tell you have to wear it. They're like, we're not doing that. It's like the hockey players when they mandated helmets. It's like, we're not wearing helmets. That's ridiculous. We played this game for years without helmets. You want to put a helmet on now? That's crazy.
It is. It's so funny the things that, like, you don't, because it's such a small town. Like, what if one of the other kids hears that, goes home and says, Tay-Tay's parents were in jail? Like, then, hey, is everything okay at home? I'll tell you, the other one, they come home with, they're little kids. They bump into everything. They fall. They come home bruised up and stuff, and you're like, you don't think the teachers are doing anything. They fall. I watched him yesterday fall off a slide like 6 feet and land in the sand. Like, it happens all day long. And then he gets hurt at home. Taylor fell and hit his lip. He had a black mark across his face, and he split his lip. And you're like, oh, I got to send him to school, and I look like, it's just constant.
He had a little mouthy, didn't he?
Yeah. Just a little, it's just constant, the worry of, people think that you're insane or in jail. So that was a fun little anecdote from yesterday from my youngest, who, by the way, my oldest is kind of tough. My youngest, he may put me in the grave, dude. He doesn't listen. He has no fear of authority whatsoever. So, yeah, that's what I did yesterday.
So I got a question for you, as someone with access to those, like, TV, the feeds that they send us. Yesterday, I was sent about a dozen of the Super Bowl commercials in advance.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, they like to leak them out a little bit early. But do you want to know like what's coming, or would you rather be surprised?
So I feel
by
like
the
it
Super Bowl
changes every
commercials?
year. You used to have to wait for Super Bowl Sunday to see.
Are
the
you
commercials.
allowed to talk about them?
Yeah,
In
no,
recent
they want them.
years-
They want them out there. Some companies feel like, hey, we're paying all this money. Let's leak them out early, and maybe
Yeah.
we'll get some free media coverage. We'll
In
get
recent
TV
years, you
stations
could
to
go on
play them. We don't even
YouTube.
have to pay for it.
You can see the whole
Yeah.
ads, all of them on YouTube. Like
You
the
probably
week of
can.
the
You
Super
probably
Bowl.
can right now if you search
Yeah.
Super Bowl commercials. There's at least
They didn't know if some were
at
embargoed.
least a dozen of them that have already leaked in their entirety. And I've already like formulated opinions, like which ones. There's like 2 that I thought were actually really good.
Did you watch them all?
I watched all 12 that they sent me just to see, and most of them were stupid. But there were 2 I thought that were
I saw
pretty good.
one.
There was an Uber Eats one that I thought was really clever, and a Bet MGM one that I thought was very clever. Those were my 2 favorites.
I haven't seen either of those.
Okay.
I saw Paramount Plus has a Super Bowl ad, and it was
Oh,
outstanding.
really? I don't think I saw that one yesterday.
Is that the one on the glacier or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
With
saw that.
cartoons.
The Uber Eats one stars Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
I'm
And
in.
Then and many others, including David Schwimmer, is in it as well.
Ross.
And then the Bet MGM one stars Vince Vaughn and Tom Brady.
that one's terrible. I've seen that one.
I liked that
That
one.
was
You've seen that one?
One of the biggest pieces of ass I think I've ever seen. I've seen that one.
You've seen it?
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good. That's the thing. I don't
See,
know.
that's the problem. I think
Everyone has
if he
different
gave me
opinion.
12, I would probably pick 2 different ones that I've liked more than you did. Because I saw that Tom Brady and Vince Vaughn one. I couldn't stand it.
The one with a cameo by Wayne Gretzky as well. Yeah, you didn't like that one.
Not very good, in my opinion.
All right, I thought it was clever.
That's why we work. We're the odd couple.
Guess so.
Yeah.
There was there's a new flavor. I think it was Doritos had a new one.
Oh, they have a new flavor?
Dinamita.
What is it?
Dinamita, like dynamite in Spanish.
Is it spicy?
Yeah, like a spicy. It was a notable commercial. You'll definitely recognize it when it happens.
Did Dua Lipa make any appearances in any of those commercials?
I don't think I saw Dua Lipa in any of the commercials.
Jeff in the chat says the Popeyes ad with Ken Jeong is hilarious.
Okay, I haven't
love
seen that
Ken
one.
Jeong.
I have not
Ken
seen that
Jeong,
one
too.
either. So basically, if I've seen 12 of them, you guys have seen a couple. Tier 1s have seen a couple of other ones. Most of them are already out there.
John wants to know when Boomer and Valenti are on in the chat.
I will tell you coming up at 8:40 this
All
morning.
right, good. I love that we're teasing ahead of the Boomer and Valenti promos now.
We're teasing interviews, we tease segments, and now we're teasing liners.
Don't go away. Coming up in 27 minutes, you'll find out when you can hear Boomer and
Set
Valenti
a
here on
calendar appointment
97.3
right
The Fan.
now.
Tell your friends. Make sure you come back. You want to be here at 8:40 this morning when I reveal for the first time today when you can hear Boomer and Valenti here on 97.3 The Fan.
We missed a great story in the chat going back to Taylor telling the preschool teacher that I was in jail and that Hannah was in jail. Corey in the chat said, when I was a kid, I was learning about DARE. They told us smoking is drugs. So I told them my dad did drugs all the time. He smoked cigarettes in the garage. So they called his work the Navy.
Oh, my
The Navy! Yeah, oh, my dad, yeah, big drug guy.
Loves
really?
drugs.
Yeah, loves drugs. In the garage every night, just doing drugs.
Nicotine is technically
Technically,
a
it
drug.
is. Not an illegal drug, but a drug. That is unbelievable, man.
Because
That's a good
there's
one.
never been anyone in the military who's ever smoked a cigarette.
Correct,
before.
exactly.
Katie says one morning my husband and I were both hungover and we got a call from the school nurse. Our second grader was sick, saying he must have what, quote, mommy and daddy have. Told the nurse all about our previous night at the brewery.
Oh, little rats. They are rats. You shut your mouth.
Oh, no.
That is unreal.
Smokes a pack of drugs a day.
Pack of drugs a day. Corey was 7 at the time. That is fantastic, dude. Fantastic.
Very good. All right. When we come back, I'm going to get serious for just a moment. I want to talk about one of my high school classmates who I just saw yesterday is battling for his life right now. He's also a former college basketball star and NBA player, and I saw this story yesterday and did an interview. It was like, even I was like, you know me, I don't get emotional much, but I saw
care
this one
much,
and I
yes.
go, I hope he's going to be okay. But
Sure.
this is definitely one of those stories that sticks with you. We'll get to that coming up. Back after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Adam, get out of here. We're doing a show. God. Guy loves to come in here and bust balls.
He's having a good week, though. He had his morning show, was ranked the number 16 morning show in the country. His afternoon show was ranked the number 19 drive time, afternoon drive sports talk show in the country today. Again, congratulations to Gwen and Chris.
What?
Congratulations.
He's so done. Tomorrow's going to be a mess.
Oh, my. It's going to be the worst Friday of the year. Friday before the Super Bowl, before spring training starts.
I cannot wait.
Just trying to make it through this week. I think part of it is that, and tell me anyone out there if you agree with this, the added stress of having to drive in the rain every single day. Not that you're not paying attention when you're driving, but there's a difference. It's like you talked about it the other day.
I went 50.
It's like you are locked in so hard when you're driving that it just adds to the fatigue of your entire week. It's like an extra, for me, because I drive, an hour and a half to 2 hours a day back and forth to 2 jobs total. It's like adding an extra work day to my week, just, having that level of stress behind the wheel. Like every second you feel like I've got to be completely locked in. There's a lot of times if you're like, I'm on the road at night and it's not rainy and there's almost no cars out. It's not like I'm there, but you can be, you're in your lane, you're going 65 and you're just cruising. It's not that hard.
You're laid back.
You're kind of laid back. You're listening to something.
You're listening to PGA Tour radio.
Exactly, or something like that. And it can be actually relaxing time for me in the car, but it's like not this week.
This week, the first thing I have said, I get up, I go into the shower, turn the shower on, Hannah walks in. What's the weather like? She's like, it's sprinkling a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. But like the last few days, it's pouring right now. I'm like, oh God, yeah, you gotta brace yourself a little bit for it. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
We have a smart alarm clock or whatever, and part of its routine is at night it turns to rain noises because I think we both find that soothing to sleep to. Yes. But the other night, I woke up at like 2 a.m. because it was raining so hard. I thought we were under attack. Like, it was raining so loud outside.
It was bad the other night.
Hitting the roof, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yesterday was
not soothing.
Yesterday was so wet and gray, and then the minute I got home and got into my bed and because I was not feeling well, pulled the covers up, the sun broke through, and my room turned into the brightest place on the planet.
My whole drive home is every 30 seconds, it was torrential downpour, bright and sunny, and then a pocket of torrential downpour, and then another pocket of gorgeous sunshine.
What's the update here? How much more of this do we have in store?
So this is a second storm that's rolling through. We're going to get more, I think, scattered rain today. Another hard, cell of showers coming through overnight again, and then more pockets tomorrow, but then by the weekend, drying out, should be nice.
Beautiful.
Saturday and especially Sunday will be really nice when we're all inside watching football.
Perfect.
Should be perfect. For outdoor activities. So, and then dry for a while, according to our 10 News weather team. Next round of storms in about a week and a half, like mid-February, the 16th, 17th. They said it looks like we could get another series of storms late in February, early in March.
Right in time for our Tier 1 baseball team to kick off its season. Yeah. Certainly. I'm already going to call probably going to be delayed a couple of weeks.
And I wonder if any of those will make their way out to Arizona. They had rain yesterday at the WM Open. The Pro-Am had a bit of rain yesterday. So they're starting the golf tournament this morning, though. So, but spring training, how many days will there be of rain out there that'll impact an already shortened time span for the Padres? That could be a factor if there's wet weather this spring in Phoenix. Wanted to just quickly mention and wish good wishes to a fellow 1993 Torrey Pines Falcon who is currently awaiting a heart transplant. Scot Pollard, who was already like 6'10", back in high school. So you stand out when you're nearly 7 feet tall, and even at a large high school like Torrey Pines, Scott stood out and, of course, was a standout basketball player. He actually transferred his senior year and played somewhere else and then came back and graduated with our class, went on to play at Kansas, and then had a career in the NBA, I think, with a couple of teams. Yeah, wasn't a star in the NBA. Was a really good college basketball player and an unbelievable high school basketball player. But I was reading the story at ESPN, and I had heard him had some, health challenges. But now he officially is on the donor list, like the heart transplant list, awaiting a potential donor that he's going to need. If he doesn't get one, he's not going to make it. His size creates a condition with his heart where essentially it beats like an extra 10,000 times a day, and they've had a pacemaker and medication is to try to treat it, but it doesn't really treat the whole thing. So the only thing that he really can get is a heart transplant. And he talked about the process. He's currently in an ICU in Nashville, Tennessee, waiting a heart. He says, I'm staying here until I get a heart. Heart's gotten weaker. My doctors say this is my best shot at getting a heart as quickly as possible. The problem is not just any heart will do for a 6'11" big guy like him. It needs to be a compatible heart, so likely someone who's also really big. And the weird thing he says is, obviously you're hoping that that call comes and there's a donor that is there, but that means that someone died,
someone passed,
and that's the only way that you can get their heart. So it's kind of that mixed feeling, like he's waiting for a hero who was willing to donate their organs if anything happened to them, and that could be the thing that saves his life. And things I didn't know, I mean, I don't know if anyone out there in the Tier 1 community has known a loved one or has ever been involved in an organ transplant, but there's a lot of rules that go with it. You can't buy one or anything. There's a national donor list, and you have to be within 4 hours of where it is, because once it happens, it has to happen quickly. When there's a transplant. So the reason he's in Nashville, the middle part of the country, is that he's around more donor centers that he can get to quickly.
Makes sense.
If you get a transplant, then you have to kind of keep going for follow-ups wherever it was. So you kind of have to relocate yourself. It's a really complex, intricate process involved in organ transplant. And he's waiting and he's on the list. So I just wanted to wish him the best. And it's hard to say I wish him good luck on that, because obviously that's bad luck for someone else.
Sure.
And it's that yin and yang of transplants and organ donation that someone can only survive if someone else does not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the article right now, man. It's the perspective of it is certainly something else. He says, it's not like being tall is a curse. It's not. It's still a blessing. But I have known my entire life there's a good chance I wasn't going to get old. And so it gives you a different perspective on how you live your life and how you treat people and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a good perspective for all of us to take away today, because getting old is certainly a privilege, not a right, to be sure.
Yeah, just 48 years old like us, obviously not an old man by any stretch of the imagination, but being that size, not overweight. He's he's a former professional athlete. It's just a big guy, and it's taxing on your organs, including your heart, to have to pump through that much blood of that much of a body, for 5 decades almost. So I just wanted to say something about Scott and wish him the best of luck. And obviously, hopefully things work out, well for him and his family. All right, let's take a quick time out. We'll come back. Great news for everybody. When we return, you will find out when you can hear Boomer and Valenti.
Yes.
Here on 97.3 The Fan.
Been waiting all morning.
Keep tuned, as Ben will say from time to time.
We will also have another Throwback Thursday for you for something that has become fairly regular, iconic part of the show since it happened 3 years ago, just outside the pandemic, right in that pandemic window. We'll go back to The Cat Lawyer coming up next with Ben and Woods.
I'm not a cat.
On San Diego's #1 sports station,
We know.
97.3 The Fan. I know Woods is counting the seconds until the NBA trade deadline at noon today.
I mean, it has just been
That's all he's been talking about during the break.
It's been a whirlwind.
3 hours and 21 minutes away.
Did you guys see that the Knicks are trading Quentin Grimes to the Pistons for Alec Burke?
Been waiting on your analysis.
Pretty big.
I actually have a bigger Knicks-Pistons trade that just went down. The Knicks acquiring Bojan Bogdanovic from the Knicks in exchange for Evan Fournier and Malachi Flynn.
Hold on. The Knicks are acquiring someone from the Knicks?
No, the Knicks are acquiring from the Pistons.
From the Pistons, okay.
Bojan Bogdanovic, who's a good player, and then Malachi Flynn, the former Aztec, is in the package going back to the Detroit Pistons, the Knicks, who have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA over the last month or so, trying to gear up for a potential playoff run in the East. But I'm sure there'll be some other moves that happen in the next 3 hours. The NBA trade deadline tends to be one of the more
busy,
active.
It's very busy. Yeah, very, very busy. If you are an NBA fan, this is a big day for you.
Thunder got Gordon Hayward from the
that.
Hornets. So, if you follow all the insider Shams and Woj, you'll get all the news over the next 3 hours. But it is deadline day. It was pretty quiet baseball trade deadline, wasn't it, this last season? Who was the biggest move?
We traded for Choi.
G-Man Choi.
G-Man Choi. Rich Hill, Scott Barlow,
Garrett
Cooper. The Marlins traded for Jake Berger. What were the other big deals at the deadline? What did the Dodgers do? Did they do anything?
Yeah, they a little before the deadline picked up the pitcher from the
God, I have no
White
memory
Sox
anymore.
Name. No.
We're really good. We're really good.
All right, it's time to tell everybody what you've all been waiting for.
Verlander.
Yeah, there was the Scherzer and Verlander deals, which the Mets ate a bunch of salary.
Michael Lorenzen went to the Phillies. Jack Flaherty went to the Orioles.
Jordan Montgomery was a big deal.
He was
that
a big
was a little
one
before the trade deadline.
Luis Urias went to the Red Sox. Yeah, Josh Bell went to the Marlins.
Who was the pitcher, the home run dispenser last year that the Dodgers picked up? Why can't I think of his name?
Lance Lynn.
Lance Lynn. Thank you.
Lance Lynn.
I could see him. I was picturing
None
him.
of us could come up with a name. It was like, he gave up a ton of home runs.
That's right.
They picked him up. You can tune in to Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti every Friday at 7 p.m. That's right, 7 p.m. Fridays. That's tomorrow here on 97.3 The Fan. It'll be the last show before the big game. They can break it all down, give you their picks and analysis. It is presented nationally by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos brought to you by those who drink it and by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody's ready by now. Yeah. The build-up is long past its anticipation stage, and it's like, let's get it over with already stage of getting to the game. All right, we'll check traffic. We'll come back. It is a Throwback Thursday. Cat Lawyer 3 years ago coming up here on 97.3 The Fan. All right, Thursdays we like to go back in the Wayback Machine, and Paulie finds some of our fun content from years gone by. And this time we're going back 3 years. So this would be February 2021 when we were in the thick of the pandemic. We had gone...
We're about 11 months
in. We're like 11 months in. We were still at the Corona Cave, weren't we?
We were.
I feel like we were still at the Corona Cave, nearing the end, but...
If I remember correctly, yeah, it was like the last week of the Corona Cave. I think you guys came back the day pitchers and catchers reported. We took like 5 or 6 days off in between. We did the Super Bowl on a Sunday. We came back, I think we did a Monday and a Tuesday, and then we were off until the next Wednesday, I think it was. Pitchers and catchers reported.
Well, that was the time during the pandemic where so much business was conducted on Zoom.
Well, remember, we didn't even know what Zoom was when the pandemic started.
No kidding.
That was the biggest. The Zoom. The company that made Zoom, the pandemic was the
who
biggest
bought
thing
stock
for them.
in Zoom in February of 2020?
Because we had what is this Zoom thing? How does it work? We all had to figure it out.
We did interviews on Zoom. We had our first time we ever interviewed Blake Snell was on Zoom. He sang a Hall & Oates song for us. I remember that. All these meetings on Zoom, and it was just constant. Well, then you think about, oh, cool, for a radio show, it's not that hard. We'll set up the remote equipment. We'll get it done, and we did. And
It's actually made our lives, I think, a little bit better in the post-pandemic. The ability to not have to be at every meeting. Like you can still check in from home or other places.
Yeah.
I've liked that development post-pandemic.
Sure, and I love being back in the studio, though, but the things that you didn't think about at the time was, well, the legal system. There are still court dates and things that need to be done, and they wanted to keep everyone apart, and they still had to do things, and so they said, well, let's just do these all on Zoom, and this is one of the, I guess, fortunate for us things that happen.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
It's an attorney.
You might want to...
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes.
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it.
Okay.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Right. Really?
I can see that.
The eyes are going back and forth on the cat. Like, all right, there's a few things to unpack. Number one, the panic is just it's a drop. That we'll have that forever. Sounds like Ben playing gin.
Oh my God.
All right, so then hey, Judge, I'm not a cat. Really? Are you sure?
As if he thought the judge was thinking, "Oh my God! This man just turned into a cat.
He's Catman." That is possibly the best thing to come from the pandemic, as TOM just said.
He seems like for a Judge Roy.
Oh, he's great.
I'm not a cat.
Seems like a nice guy because I'm afraid, like Judge Roy, you go in for a traffic ticket, he gives you the death penalty.
Yeah, 100%. I've got experience with a lot of judges in Texas, and not all of them are as nice as Judge Roy. There's a guy in the upper right-hand corner named Jerry L. Phillips.
He's like the opposing attorney.
The opposing
right?
attorney. He finally cracks a smile after about, 7 minutes of this white little cat's face and beautiful, cute little cat with his eyes moving back and forth, eyes going up and down, the head shakes a little bit.
Honestly, I don't remember seeing the video in so long. We played the audio many times. The other part that we never bring up is the upper left-handed quadrant, which is... Recording of this hearing or live stream is prohibited. Violation may constitute contempt of court and result in a fine of up to $500 and a jail term of up to 180 days. Someone had to break the law in order for this to get out to everybody.
What are you in for?
You know the I'm not a cat video?
It's kind of embarrassing, actually. I recorded the I'm not a cat. 6 months for that? I got 6 months. I'm doing 6 months here in the county lockup for the I'm not a cat. I'd pay the $500.
I tore the tag off a mattress.
Yeah.
So.
I would pay the $500 in a heartbeat. But yeah, Jerry Phillips is my favorite part. He's the other attorney, and he just sits there, and he's like, all right, this guy is digging his own grave, and I'm not going to say a word. And it is just... Megan just said it in the chat. Pandemic content was fire. I mean, it really was. There's so many things that happened. Those Zoom meetings, I can remember being out. Because the other thing that happened during the pandemic was I started playing golf a lot. And I had time to kill. And it was you were socially distanced and all that. So I would go out and play golf. And Adam would be like, we've got 3 Zooms today. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll be there. In my phone, my pocket.
Yeah.
On a meeting with the,
I'd put it down on the fairway.
Put it down on the fairway and hit. It was something else, man.
You know that none of us are pandemic deniers.
Right.
But some of the things we did to stay
safe.
Like playing golf, but they had to put a little insert in the cup so you couldn't reach all the way down. Like,
yes.
How many people got COVID reaching into a golf cup?
Well, how about the partition between us in the cart? Hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm good. How are you? The partition was plexiglass right between us in the same cart. So yeah, listen, you do what you do, but it got us out on the golf course. We had, and it's funny. you look back on it and go, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was horrible. It was terrible. We didn't see Paul's face for like 6 months. It was terrible. It was terrible. I'm losing it.
You okay with that?
Thank you.
The cat is amazing, though, because it really does. Even the filter transmits the worry that you can see in the lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very worried-looking cat.
Yeah, the cat has the worried face, like, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be here. But, yeah, man, we did Zoom interviews and we did Zoom meetings.
That is the most worried-looking cat I've ever seen.
It was
Taunton,
fantastic.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
Yeah, I would say so.
You might want to.
Paulie was the one. Did it come out? Because there was a big company Zoom meeting, and some guy thought he had his camera off, and he backed up.
I believe that was fake.
Was that fake? Yeah. That was planned, and he started to go to town.
I think those were like all comedians,
writers,
okay,
and
stuff.
Because that would have been really, really funny if that was.
There's another one I don't want to play it right now because I know it's going to come up on a Throwback Thursday at some point, but it was after the cat lawyer video. It was a guy who had a security camera in his office, his home office, and a squirrel flew in through the window. He was like on a phone call or on a meeting, and he goes, yeah, so anyways, I'll get those spreadsheets to you.
He panicked. That's right.
There was a squirrel just running around his desk.
So they're saying in the chat that it was somebody from CNN that did that and got removed from CNN for real. They're saying Jeff Toobin.
Oh, Jeffrey Toobin. I do remember that.
He was doing the knuckle shuffle on the Zoom meeting.
Maybe there was one where the guy was like doing the same thing, and it did come out to be a fake
one.
But the Toobin one, I believe, did happen.
There was another one I saw during that with a woman that had an aide behind her, very visible on the shelf. You know what I mean? When I say aid,
yeah, the ones that I get advertisements for all the time.
Well, now the
feed, now everyone gets advertisements for
that. Everyone now sends us every day because they're also getting the same.
I mean, they've only upped, by the way, their ad level ever since we mentioned it.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting 15 of them a day in my feed.
Yeah,
I'm almost going to buy one just to hopefully make it stop.
Yes.
But will that make it stop, or will they just try to sell me a second one? If they promised me that the ads would stop, I might actually buy one.
What's the promo code again? Do you remember?
The promo code was
lubed.
Yeah. What's the promo code? You can get one.
Orgasmic revelation.
Right.
That's the selling point.
That's right.
We're all erotic. That was today.
That was today.
Man, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've got
it's
some big
be good.
plans for Valentine's Day next
whatever
week.
it is, it's going to be good. That's all I know. That is all I know. Here's the problem. When you do buy something, when you do buy something, you get, not only will you get the ad still, they'll send you emails and texts. Hey, hope you're enjoying your thing, and here's another 15% off. I bought Hannah some earrings from a company, and I get 45 emails a week from them. And anytime I buy something from Instagram, I get 45 emails a week after, so it doesn't go away.
So how do I make it stop? Do I block it?
Maybe block it.
Try that?
Well, buy one, and then let us know how it works, and then give us a review, and then maybe other people will buy one. No, I guess
Orgasmic revelation.
I think that was a real thing. Paulie.
That one was absolutely.
I don't remember.
Real. There was another one that
Jeff
went around.
Toobin.
I remember.
Is he living in a cabin somewhere away from everyone?
He was like their legal analyst, and
I remember
he was part of the OJ legal team at some point, wasn't he? Yeah.
Because
so did he move to?
And then he was a CNN legal analyst, and
he moved to Australia then, and is in hiding, right?
No, I don't think so.
You just got to come out and say, "Yeah, I did it." Right? Like, what do you do? Like, who doesn't do that? He wasn't doing anything wrong, per se.
Yeah, I think it's a little wrong.
It's not wrong.
A meeting with
I don't
everybody.
think he wasn't doing it on purpose.
Well, he was.
It was an accident.
No, it was not an accident.
I remember because.
Well, he didn't.
Was back when O.J. Simpson was on Twitter and giving his analysis on everything that happened in the world. And
that's right.
Damn, Jeffrey Toobin. At least Pee Wee Herman was in an X-rated movie theater. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, I must have blocked
Damn, Jeffrey Toobin?
Jeffrey Toobin?
Yeah, he did not like Jeffrey Toobin.
I bet he didn't. Oh, my God. I forgot about that. Yeah, guy's just having a little alone time.
It's not alone.
Wasn't alone.
You're on a video chat.
He didn't do it on purpose, is what I'm saying.
Maybe he didn't turn his camera on purpose, but you've got to know if you're on a video chat that there's always the possibility of something technically going haywire, and you could be seen and heard. Has it not happened to everyone? They thought they were muted at least.
Here's one.
And we're not in a video chat meeting.
Here's one from our Tier 1 James. I have to be very careful. Fun story at Ben & Woods. One of my attorneys had a hearing via Zoom in Lake County the other day. Some guy logged on, legs spread, showing the anus, just fully going at it to himself. Lasted about 10 seconds before the court could disconnect him. Apparently, it's not that uncommon, but it should be. That should be very uncommon. I don't know where to go.
Just pray that these last minute and 15 seconds before our top of the hour break goes quickly.
You want to tell us about Boomer and Valenti again?
7 o'clock tomorrow night here on 97.3 The Fan.
Nick says Jeffrey Toobin's back on the air right now.
Oh, of course. Of course. Are you still planning on going home and enjoying some golf coverage today?
Yes, I am. Waste Management.
Your favorite tournament?
Waste Management Open starts today. You're damn right. I will go home, eat a sandwich, lay in bed, and watch golf until it's time to pick
someone
the kids
made
up.
the point, and I thought this was very astute, that if you don't know anything about golf and you just had someone flip through like each tournament of the year, they would say, so what's the biggest tournament in golf? They wouldn't say the Masters.
Right.
They wouldn't say the U.S. Open. They'd
this
say,
one.
so it's got to be that one in Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
The WM Open. That's the Super Bowl of golf,
It's
right?
so fun.
It looks
It's
sure,
so
it
fun.
sure looks like it. You'd be surprised to learn, no, there's probably like 20 tournaments that are more prestigious than that one, but it looks like it's the biggest golf tournament of the year every year. All right, we got 1 hour to go. Paulie's got some headlines in the Reindl Report coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's Ben & Woods on a Throwback Thursday, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Saw new San Diego State football coach Sean Lewis spoke to the media yesterday. He's been on the job for 10 weeks now. Haven't heard much from him.
Haven't heard anything from him
since he started the job. But they have 37 new players coming in to join the Aztecs, freshmen and transfers in their class of 2024 incoming signing list that they announced yesterday officially.
They're all new to him.
They're all new to him. That's true. Even the guys coming back are new to him, but these are also new to San Diego State. And one thing that I thought struck me, he said they are all really excited about getting going on the Aztec fast offense, the new high pace. But he says they also have no idea what they're getting in for.
Oh yeah,
they don't know. They're kids. They don't know what they don't know. And when we start practicing, and spring practices start here in a few weeks, they'll realize very quickly when we run like a 7-on-7 drill and we're up there for 10 minutes and we will run 45 plays in those 10 minutes.
Oh my
And you have to,
God.
I mean, you are just essentially sprinting between plays, like go, 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 go. You'll find out what it actually takes in terms of the conditioning and preparation necessary to implement this offense that is coming to San Diego State football.
We just got some news from the Padres. They just made an announcement. We should probably hit that here for a few minutes. The Padres have just announced that they will be hosting a celebration of life for our beloved Peter Seidler. It's going to be on Saturday, March 23rd at 1 p.m. at Petco Park. And this says here in the press release, the team will also wear a PS jersey patch in Seidler's memory during the entire 2024 season.
Yep, so there's details. I just retweeted them, but again, Saturday, March 23rd, 1 p.m.
Admission is free.
Parking is free of charge. Also, the jersey patch design idea with Peter's initials inside a heart came from Seidler's children and will be worn by the Padres over their hearts this season on each of their uniform combinations.
Yeah, I think, didn't Tom Seidler tell us that his kids were working on that uniform patch, which I think is such a nice,
great touch
to include them and to make sure that he is included in this upcoming season. And, my hope, and I'm sure Peter's hope as well, would have been just like in 1984, 40 years ago, when the Padres wore a RAK patch when Ray Kroc passed away during the offseason, and they went to the World Series, that the memory of Peter Seidler can inspire a little bit and lift the Padres to some extra greatness coming up here in 2024.
No question about it.
Free digital tickets, so it's like FanFest or whatever. It's free to attend, but you do need to claim a digital ticket. That will begin on Thursday, the 29th. Of this month, and then gates will open at noon for anybody in attendance.
So this is the day before FanFest?
Yes, the Celebration of Life, yes.
Yeah. So Saturday, March 23rd, the Celebration of Life, and then Sunday, March 24th.
First 10,000 fans at the Celebration of Life will receive a complimentary jersey patch, and then the patch will be available for sale at the Padres team store throughout the season with net proceeds benefiting the Padres Foundation.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, they had said that was the weekend that you can kind of plan out for a memorial, and then they announced FanFest on that same weekend. So, but it sounds like it's just going to be a busy weekend. They're playing in Korea on the 20th and the 21st, and then flying back to San Diego. They'll probably arrive, I would imagine, early in the morning on the 22nd or in the midday of the 22nd, and then the next day will be the Celebration of Life, and then FanFest
game.
And then they've got 2 games against the Mariners.
Off day, opening day.
And then opening day against the hopefully everyone has time to recover from everything. That's a busy first week for the Padres coming out of spring training.
I mean, and I love that. I think that week's going to be full of all sorts of different emotions. Really looking forward to being out there. FanFest certainly will be broadcasting live. And then again, being at that memorial, it's going to be a tough day, certainly for our entire city. And hopefully, like you said, it does inspire a lot of people. Not just the players, but a lot of people. That's one thing I always think about with Peter, is the legacy that he leaves behind as far as what he was able to do in the community, all the times that he was able to help. So that's the legacy I'm talking about, more than actually on the field.
And again, as Paul said, it's free to attend, but you do need to claim your digital tickets starting Thursday, February 29th, if you want to attend the Celebration of Life for Peter Seidler. All right, let's get to today's Reindl Report.
And get things started here
with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Start off in college football. Little media news yesterday. It didn't take long. Nick Saban, he retired last month, and he's already got a new gig lined up, but he's not going to be coaching. He will be joining ESPN's College Game Day. 72 years old, but he still wants to be involved with the game. I think that's a perfect fit for him.
It's going to be awesome.
I found him
be
to
awesome.
be a little bit more charismatic as his years went on.
We mellow with age, Paulie. I was talking about it yesterday. Yeah, I definitely have mellowed. The older
I'm
I
not
get.
going to,
Yeah.
so quit asking.
I've definitely mellowed the older I get, and will probably even be more so.
I think I saw Richard Deitch, who covers media, going, I'll just end the race right now. That'll be the best hiring ESPN makes in 2024.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a really, really good call.
He's polished. He looks good in a suit,
Yeah.
on a camera. There's no reason why he's not going to become an absolute star on that desk.
It's going to be great.
He was playing in the Pro-Am yesterday at the WM Open. He was hoping to play with Justin Thomas, of course, an Alabama star. Didn't get him, though. He was taken first. Nick Saban had the second pick. The guys who got to pick first took Justin Thomas away from him. He was like, wanted to play with JT.
That's kind of a D move by those guys.
To steal,
you have to
Justin
steal
Thomas.
Saban's.
I don't know. Nick Saban usually gets everything he wants. He can finish second every once in a while.
That's true.
Why not?
He's finished second plenty.
That's
now,
true.
I'm thinking about College Game Day. Typically, I think Game Day, I think SEC matchup, or they're somewhere in the South. Is he universally revered, Nick Saban? Or, like, does Georgia
No, if they're
or
going
LSU,
to Auburn and doing
they're going to
it,
still give it to
he
him,
will
right?
be booed. But, all those guys have their own college ties. And when Herb Street goes to Michigan, he gets booed because he's an Ohio State
And
guy.
Desmond Howard in Ohio.
Yeah,
Desmond
the
Howard
other
in
way
Ohio
around.
State.
So and they just lean into it. They have fun with it for the most part. Now, some people thought maybe Saban was going to replace Lee Corso just
he
because
not?
Corso, I believe, is 106 years old.
He's
But no,
getting up there.
Corso, they said,
106.
is going to be back and still sitting there and doing
Lee Corso
his,
is 88 years old. He'll be 89
doing his
when
head,
the season starts.
His mascot head picks for another season.
God.
Is McAfee back with them too?
I believe so.
He's just going to keel over one day right on that set.
They're
at
just
some
adding
point.
another body up there.
Yeah.
All right. He's
Saban
good.
released a statement. He said, ESPN and College Game Day have played such an important role in the growth of college football, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to join their team. I'll do my best to offer additional insights and perspectives to contribute to College Game Day, the ultimate Saturday tradition for college football fans.
Love it.
All right, we'll move on. We will probably at least discuss our picks for the Super Bowl sometime tomorrow morning is my guess. But saw a story here. Now, there is a guy on Reddit. His account or his username is I'm_this_guy. And he claims that he has been inaccurate for the last 16 straight Super Bowls. He has picked the loser of the last
Fade Ben.
16.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
fade I'm this guy.
Oh man. Okay.
So, I mean,
16 in a row.
I don't know if there was proof. I'm not reading the actual Reddit thread. I'm just reading a story about it, but that's what he's claiming.
Okay.
He has picked 16 winners. They have lost every time for the last 16 years.
Okay.
Do you want to know who he picked for this year? Would you buy into this? Like, would you fade this guy?
I might.
Well, I already know who I'm picking, so
I know who
I'm
I'm
about
picking,
to find
too.
out if I'm going to fade him or
I know
not.
who I was going to pick, and now I'm not sure because he is putting his money on the Kansas City Chiefs. That means
Niners win.
49ers going to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, our game has already been decided. We've already paid Paul because he won our picks. We're still going to give our picks tomorrow, though, correct?
Yeah. I'd like to
Final score, everything.
break down how we think it could go.
Should we
but
go
over,
should we
under?
go more money on this?
Do an over-under? I mean, what if we all want to pick the same team, though? That it's hard to win a bet when everyone's on the same side.
That's true.
Maybe we'll do over-under. What's the over-under number, anyway?
It was
50?
Oh, the over-under.
Yeah. It's got to be fairly... I mean, both teams have good defenses.
I've got 47.5.
Not quite 50, 47.5. All right, yeah. I'll have to think that one over a little bit.
I like the over, and I like rooting for overs.
Yeah.
I don't like rooting for unders.
Oh.
You're always alive for an over.
Always.
An under can... You
need
pretty
to be done
much
by
you can be
halftime.
done by halftime.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But even if a game is 0-0, you can go, hey, there's always overtime. They could just go back and forth and keep scoring, and especially in the playoffs, game won't end until it ends. So.
The 49ers are still 2-point favorites.
If I think about that, and I think, you know what I think when I hear he's lost 16 in a row? You know my initial thought is, you're due. You're due. You're due for a winner at some point.
I'm trying to think of the last 16 years. That means he's bet against Tom Brady a bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, none of that is actually true. He's not magic. It's simply a random confluence of events. Maybe he is very bad at picking
random.
games.
But you can't.
But
be
he's
bad.
not due either.
But you can't be bad at picking a Super Bowl.
That's
the
what
two
I think
best
either.
teams.
He just like this particular game, he once again has about a 50% chance of picking the winner, just like every other person on earth does.
It's going to lose a 50% coin flip 16 times in a row.
So it's an old scam. I saw this on a television show once, and you've got someone you mail someone like a winner of a football game on Sunday, and you put like Chiefs or 49ers, and you send it to them in the mail, and you send it to 10 people, and then you know that you sent 5 one side, 5 the other.
Right.
So Chiefs, Niners. The next week you send those 5 people another game, and you split it up again. Eventually, I mean, if you start with enough people, let's say you start with 32 people, you narrow it down. One of those people, like an NCAA tournament bracket, you'll have been right every week, and they'll have mysteriously received winners in the mail for like 5 straight weeks. So then you'll say, we'll send you a winner this week if you send me $1,000. And you'll think, this guy's always been right. Well, yeah, he was wrong on the other 31 people he sent these picks to, but for you, he was right every single week. Someone in the country is going to be right or wrong about every Super Bowl pick.
That's
for 15 years, just because that's how math works. Most people will get about half of them right. A few will get a few more right. A few will get a few less right. Someone out there, though, is going to be on that run where they just get every single one right or every single one wrong.
Yep.
It's actually inevitable that there is someone out there.
Doesn't change your idea. It
Doesn't change the odds for the next outcome, though.
Okay.
And then finally, I was hoping one of you guys might be able to tell me a little bit more about this man that we lost yesterday, but a little shout out to his family.
Shout out to his family.
For Mojo Nixon.
Someone in the chat was asking as well.
Heard about him, know very little about him, but we lost him last night. He was 66 years old, and he has roots here in San Diego.
Yep.
Says here he died while at sea on a week-long 2024 Outlaw Country Cruise.
He did an Outlaw Country show. I also used to do an Outlaw Country show on the Spreaker network. Mojo Nixon is it's hard. He did a little bit of everything, but music was really what he did, but he was an actor as well. I believe he was at KGB here, if I'm not mistaken. It was before my time in San Diego.
Yeah, he was a DJ.
He was a DJ here, but he's done it all, man.
I saw 91X paid tribute to him.
91X paid tribute to him. He was a punk rock guy. He was a rockabilly guy. He was a outlaw country guy. And the quote when he passed away, I'll find it real quick, was pretty from his family. It was pretty cool how they said. Okay, here we go. His family shared this yesterday. How you live is how you. Damn it! It just went away because it's a paywall. How you live is how you are supposed to die. Damn it! Sorry, it went away. Let me find it. I'll find it.
Paulie, can you call up like one of his famous songs, like Elvis is Everywhere? I don't know that I've ever heard it, but see if you can find a little Mojo Nixon as well for us. Born Neil Kirby McMillan Jr.
Here we go. How you live is how you should die. Mojo Nixon was full tilt, wide open, rock hard, root hog, corner on 2 wheels, on fire. Passing after a blazing show, a raging night, closing the bar, taking no prisoners, and a good breakfast with bandmates and friends. A cardiac event on the Outlaw Country Cruise is about right. That's just how he did it. Mojo has left the building. Since Elvis is everywhere, we knew he was waiting for him in the alley out back. Heaven help us all. So, yeah, he did the Outlaw Country Cruise and passed away again the next day after a show. Very, very beloved in town by a lot of people I used to work with. My friend Mookie was nicknamed Mookie by Mojo Nixon. Mark Kazer's his name, and I worked with him at 94.9 for many years, and Mojo's the one that named him Mookie. So just a character, certainly, a legend in his own right. Probably didn't receive the fame and riches of many, but definitely did it his way and what many consider the right way in the music business. But
maybe one day we'll pass away on a Ben and Woods cruise.
Oh, if we could do a Ben and Woods cruise, I would be. It's the only cruise I think I'd go on. Adam,
new idea.
What do we do on there? Just like broadcast the whole time? Like, make sure you're down in the lobby because we're doing a show for a couple
real
hours.
Or fake tonight.
Coming up at 9 o'clock in the ballroom.
It's Boomer and Plenty. Hey, it's Boomer. We're on the Ben and Woods cruise. Yeah, what would we do? Yeah, if I do have to go,
live take on Woods every night.
I wouldn't mind going on the air. That's good radio.
Maybe a little foreplay.
On the cruise.
I do like a good midnight buffet.
It's true.
We can definitely do those on a Ben and Woods cruise.
We'll
sure.
Let's start working on it.
A things Ben likes cruise.
Oh, it would be mayhem, as Kurt said. It would be so fun.
Paulie, good job. I just got a text from my brother. I'll tease this. This might be in progress as we speak. The greatest round of golf ever played on a competitive tour level going on at this moment.
Okay.
We're not talking about breaking 60 anymore. We're talking about closer to breaking 50, possibly, in a round of golf. I'll let you know about that. When we come back, it is Ben and Woods, checking traffic and more on the way on San Diego's
I just saw it. Oh my
number
God.
one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, a couple notes here. First of all, just saw a tweet from MLB on Fox that renderings of the proposed new White Sox ballpark in Chicago were just released to the public. And I opened up the picture and I go, this is a joke, right? This is Petco Park. You have designed Petco Park. It looks, I mean, they don't have a Western metal building. They do have, it looks like some sort of building in the left field corner, kind of behind the stands. But otherwise, it looks like there's a Gallagher Square in center field. You've got the 2 tiers below the Jumbotron in left field. You've got a little porch area in right. I mean,
now their CEO,
that's Petco Park.
It's Petco Park, dude.
Their CEO, Derek Koopner, says that it looks nothing like it whatsoever. So it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing to see here at all.
I mean, if you're going to copy a ballpark, you might as well copy the best ballpark in America, but I mean, literally, did someone get paid for this? Because let's just copy and paste.
Now, they got those weird pinwheels out there, but that's where we have our number.
It's Petco Park with pinwheels.
Yeah, it's Petco Park with pinwheels. It is very, very similar. It doesn't look like it goes up.
Looks like they got that like the building out in the center field, the short one with the high rises behind it. I mean,
there's a fryer running around in white socks. It's very, very, very similar. Fish tacos flying around. It's very nuts. Cutwaters everywhere.
I mean, they're just missing the Western Metal Supply building, and then that's about it.
But
that's
there's
Petco
some weird
Park.
building behind the
corner.
The thing.
And I try to figure out
nuts.
It's a little back behind the foul pole, not right up to it. But I mean, otherwise, awfully familiar looking of the new White Sox ballpark design.
Yeah, Satan's Blowfish says it's actually going to be called PetSmart Park.
Pointco Place is in Southside. Wow, that is weird. That is real. PetSmart Park, yes, that's genius. Man.
All right, the other item, I just teased it. Quite possibly the greatest round of golf that has ever been played could be underway right now. It is the Korn Ferry Tour. My brother texted this to me, and it's being followed along by some golf media at the moment. A guy named Cristobal del Solar, first round of the Astara Open on the Korn Ferry Tour. And here's how he has started his round, Woods. Birdie, par, birdie, par. So 2 under through 4. That's good, but not spectacular. Then birdie, 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 eagle on number 9, which was a par 4 for a 27, 8 under par on the front, par 35.
Oh, my God.
And then on the back 9, he has started birdie, par, eagle, par, birdie, birdie. So that makes
2 eagles
in a round. 2 eagles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 birdies, 2 eagles. He's 13 under par through 15 holes, which on a par 70 course means if he pars the last 3 holes, he shoots 57. If he birdies the last 3 holes, he would shoot a 54. The 27's already the lowest 9 in the history, or tied for the lowest 9 in the history of the Korn Ferry Tour. So he is certainly threatening to put up the lowest number they've ever seen in a professional golf round on a real course that he's putting up today. I mean, he's parred actually all of the par 3s he's played.
Oh my God.
So his numbers on his card are 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, which was a birdie, 3, 2, which was an eagle, 3, 3, 3, which was an eagle, 4, 3, 3. He's made 2 4s, and they're the 2 highest scores on his card. That's an unbelievable round of golf.
How many holes do you have left?
He's got 3 holes left, a par 4, a par 3.
I kind of want to go live to the coverage. My God, that is...
Cristobal del Solar.
Yeah, that's like video game stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as locked in as you can be. Are you past the panic stage?
The panic? Oh,
yeah,
like you're so locked in, like what can I do wrong?
Are you just like...
Knowing you can bogey 2 of your last 3 holes and still shoot 59 has got to be a pretty good feeling. But then again, it's golf. He could quad the last hole, like make an 8 to finish and shoot 61. That would probably That would suck.
This made me laugh. I'm sorry. It's at your expense. Jong said, Ben reading those numbers sounded like he was rating all his past girlfriends. 3, 3,
Ouch.
4, 3, 4, 3, 3. It made me laugh. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at his comment.
Number 3.
Do you want me to rate my
No,
girlfriends?
I do not want you to rate your
there's only like 3 numbers that I'd be reading.
We don't have to. That was funny. Please don't blow it up. Yeah, please don't. Please finish this round strong. Right?
I mean, it's incredible. Like 50, 55, 56, very realistic at this point. The lowest round ever on the PGA Tour is a 58.
Our man, Welsh Fryer, tweeted about the Petco Park in the Midwest. White Sox. Yo, can I copy your homework? Padres. Yeah, just change it up so it's not that obvious you copied. It's so identical, dude. It is so identical. I went to the I never went to the old Comiskey, but I went to that one that's there currently. And it's not great. It's not the world's best experience. So, yeah, guaranteed rate field is only 13 years older than Petco Park, and they're looking to replace it. I mean, I just drove by it a couple times when I was there in the summer. It ain't great. It ain't great.
I mean, I get they're all ballparks follow some similar.
Yes, of course. There's not much you can do.
You got to start with a.
Ours is a triangle.
There's foul poles. There's gonna be a wall in between them. There's gonna be seats around them.
It looks scarily
this one just. I mean, I looked at it and I go, this is just different colors in Petco Park.
What am I missing?
Yeah, they just put the pinwheels up in Petco Park, and that's exactly what it is. That's funny. That's really, really funny.
All right, we've got one segment left on Ben and Woods today. We've got one show left tomorrow before spring training begins for your San Diego Padres.
When are they heading out? You think the guys are packing up the car and heading out today, tomorrow,
I know, like
Sunday?
some of the staffers, we ran into them at the biomechanics lab. They were just going to drive over on Saturday. Gives them a chance to settle in for a day, do some shopping, and then show up on Sunday for the first day of pitchers and catchers reporting. But they all want to be out of there early on Sunday so they can watch the game too.
Ooh, good point.
That's just a kind of check in, probably a couple of physicals quickly day. And
Open your locker, get
and then
it
the
all
first
ready.
day is really on Monday. But they'll be out there this weekend. So all right, we'll be back. Wrap things up here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
get a crossover going at some point with these guys. What? Someday?
I'd be in
Fine by
favor of
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be in favor of that. This hour of Ben and Woods brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. Wrapping things up. You guys went to bed early last night.
6:30.
6:30.
Yes.
You know what you missed last night?
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
The USD Toreros have heated up. They won their 4th game in their last 5.
Steve Lavin.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're up to 5th place in the WCC. They beat Loyola Marymount last night.
Okay.
It was a quiet night, though, in sports. You didn't really miss much. It was a good night to go to bed early. I'm glad
it was a great night to go to
well
bed early.
rested.
I feel so much better today, man. So much better. Feel like I can take on the world when we get out of here. And by that, I mean eat a chicken salad sandwich and watch golf. That's my version of taking on the world.
Will you drop the chicken salad onto the floor?
No,
first?
I'm going to eat
That's
this.
only for your tuna salad.
There's this gas station by my house that has the greatest chicken salad that I've ever had. It's in the gas station. I'm telling you, look at me, you're giving me the eye.
I'm not giving you the eye.
You're giving me the eye.
I'm not giving you the eye.
Oh, my
there
God.
There are amazing gas station food options in this country.
It has a little deli in there with frozen yogurt. I don't get the frozen yogurt, but I go by once a week at least and get a chicken salad sandwich on a toasted croissant and these delicious barbecue chips. And it's the highlight. It's the highlight of my day after seeing you guys, of course. But I'm going to go grab one. I'm going to go home and watch golf until I got to pick the kids up.
The problem,
it's a great day.
The problem is with gas station food is that there are places that it is incredible. Like you got a little mom and pop. You got a stand inside the gas station. You get some of the best food ever. You also get places that don't care with no sanitation, no health concerns, and they're just churning out some food to make some extra money. You need to be discerning when you go and shop for a meal at a gas station.
Yeah, I mean, but once you
found it though,
once you find it, you hang on to it like grim death.
Yeah, there's definitely some good gas station food options in this country.
The place. There's a car wash up by us. They have some Mexican food there.
Yeah.
Now, some of I have friends.
Well, El Pueblo, which is a great Mexican spot, in a car wash gas station.
That may be the one I'm talking about.
Right on Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
Yeah,
place is fantastic.
El Pueblo, fantastic,
yeah, delicious.
Yeah. Really good taco shop.
When I want Mexican food, I can also get my car washed. And
down the street, I've heard good things about the Mediterranean place and that other car wash.
Yes, down by by
below
Dick's.
Encinitas Ranch there.
Yes, I've heard.
So
good things
I'm not judging you. Actually, the reason I gave you a look is that I have, on occasion, we have the vending machines with sandwiches at Channel 10, just those like pre-wrapped, and the chicken salad or the tuna salad. It's pretty good.
No chance.
It's like $4, and
there's no way.
You get them at Costco. Basically, they're fresh something sandwiches in the little triangular, already cut with the really soft wheat bread. That's good. I mean, when I'm like in a pinch and I don't have anything with me and I don't have time to go out and get something,
You ever heard of DoorDash?
To the TV station, we got a gate and no one there to open the gate. It's too much trouble.
All right.
So I will go and get
This dude will eat a gas station sandwich.
No, it's a vending machine sandwich.
That's even worse. A vending.
It's good. The bread is like that really soft bread,
You're
like
a monster.
soft wheat bread.
You make fun of everything.
I know.
And you'll eat a sandwich out of a vending machine.
I know. It's pretty good too.
No, it's not.
It can't be.
It's not bad.
You'll eat tuna out of a vending machine. Oh my!
I'm gonna throw up just thinking about it. You know what? Craig said he'll come in and hang out. Let's
Good.
go to
You
break.
are
Go to traffic.
maybe a serial killer.
I can't do.
Would you
any more
eat
of
it at
that.
7-Eleven? Because they have the same things. They have like egg salad.
I mean, if
on
it's like
wheat.
sealed, like completely in a little plastic cartridge.
Yeah, he won't eat at Olive Garden. He makes fun of Texas Roadhouse, but he's like, oh, vending machine egg salad? I'm in. Count me in. $4. That's insanity.
It was just loose, like and falling out of the machine.
Disgusting.
Loose egg salad. Oh, damn it. Lost a lot of that there. Holy
Reaching
cow.
into the the tray at the bottom.
Yeah,
trying to
get your
your
egg salad sandwich. Holy crap, dude! You're a walking contradiction.
Sometimes, aren't we all?
Yes.
Aren't we all walking contradictions at times?
Legendary.
All right, Craig's gonna check in with us for a little Thursday crossover right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
The roads are winding down pretty nicely all around the county. You're up to speed out of Santee, westbound 52. Crash cleared on northbound 5 before the Coronado Bridge. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Big game coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Solo Stove. Feel the heat of the world's most popular smokeless fire pit. Visit them today at solostove.com. And as we get to our last 10 minutes here of Ben and Woods, it is a pleasure to welcome one of the hosts of the Annie and Elston program. Which one are you again?
I'm the Elston.
Elston. That's right. Craig Elston is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. It is now. You are on. You are here with us on Ben and Woods. You're on the live stream. You're everywhere.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Craiger. How you doing, buddy?
I love that you guys are on the live stream, too. You got a lot of the same people in our chat. The chat is fun.
The chat is, yes. The chat is like 98% fun.
98%. You're right. Every now and then you're like, whoa, man, I did that? Sorry.
Well, you guys are in a great situation. I'm so envious of you all the time. One of those 7 deadly sins, right?
Envy. Ben has it, too.
But, you've you've had years in your time slot. You've developed your audience. Your audience knows you. They know what to expect from you. Yeah. And we have a slightly different remit in the midday, to be honest. Like, we're doing a different kind of show. We're kind of addressing different topics. We're doing it in a different way. And so there's a little bit of an audience turnover that's occurring.
You should have seen this when we got here, my friend. It was not puppy dogs and rainbows at all by any stretch. And it's still not, as a matter of fact. I mean, you still get the few nasty messages and, it used to bother me tremendously. It used to spin me out for a weekend. Yeah. And I've gotten to the point of it's getting dangerously not caring anymore. You know what I mean about it? Because and it's hard. You do take it personally. It's your work. I don't. I would get into it with people on Twitter, and I just try not to engage as much. I'll make light of it a lot because sometimes their insults are funny. I laugh at them and go, "That's funny," and I'll bring one up. But ask Benny, man. 5 years ago, I would spin. I would just into the ether, and now I'm like, whatever. That's revenge.
It's weird because you're right. Some criticism is absolutely fair. We are far from perfect. We make tons of mistakes. I mean, over a 4-hour show, it's inevitable as long as we're on. And if people are good-natured in their critiques, ribbing, there's no problem with it. There's criticism that you're always going to feel is unfair.
Sure.
And you can try to defend yourself against it. Woods does sometimes a good job of, converting people. Like kill them with kindness.
I've done a lot of
explain your thinking.
Converting. Yeah.
When people disagree. But other times the best thing is just to let it slide.
My favorite one is you'll get one, and man, I just hate the morning show. I hate Woods. I hate Ben. I hate Paulie. Whatever. And I'll write back, "Hey man, sorry, we're not your cup of tea, Woods." And then the guy, almost 100% of the time, "Oh crap! I didn't know anyone was going to actually write me back. All right, I'll give you guys a shot." And it's just like they just want to be heard.
I mean, literally, what I've been doing in the chat, because it started off the first couple of weeks that we'd have 4 or 5 people that wanted to come in and say, "Listen,
you suck.
I wanted the last show. I don't want this show.
That happens all the time.
What's going on? Bring back the old guy." And what I just started doing is kind of just putting up my hand.
Yeah,
being like, "Hi, I'm right here. Thanks for being here and listening to the show. And if you're not going to listen to the show, have a good day."
The good thing for our career, it's really been great. We've replaced Dancilio twice, so we didn't get a lot of the "Hey, I missed the old show." Like we didn't get that part. We get you.
Where am I going to get my Hurricanes talk?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, so if I see that man in public, I owe him a beer or 12. I really do, because replacing him is pretty damn simple. It was pretty easy both times, and no offense, but it just was. The show didn't connect, and this one has, and so don't be envious. You guys will absolutely get there. It's hard to find more likable people.
You're far ahead of where we were after, 4 or 5 weeks?
Oh, dude, our show in the first, I mean... used to go home.
Wait, I remember hearing.
Yeah, I used to go home. I used to go home and cry almost. Like, how do we do this? And then, honestly,
it started rough. It then got worse for a while.
Yeah.
And then finally we got into a groove and it got better.
And
I think those daily 9 a.m. meetings didn't really help.
No, they made the show much worse.
They made it
every
much
single
worse.
day.
And
consider the source is all I would say.
It's fair enough.
The advice.
Fair enough, but I recommend for and people always ask me, how do I get into media? I said, just replace Dan Sileo. That's really the best thing that you can do. Find out where he works, replace him.
It would be on his own podcast, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
you guys will cruise to fame and riches. It's really been wonderful for us. Again, Hammer, we used to have Hammer in with us, and Hammer and Dan were friends. And he goes, I'm telling you, you would really like him outside. I go, that very well may be. I've really enjoyed replacing him though twice. I really have. It's been great for my career. So.
Oh man!
But you're also up against it, Craig, because you guys are starting in just the worst time of year.
Oh my God!
The worst time of year, and in a sport which we all love and we love to talk about ad nauseum, that decided we'll just let the chips fall where they may, and 40 guys are still unsigned.
Can't believe it.
It's been insane and insanely slow. And there just hasn't been a lot of stuff to talk about. And, you can only beat your head against the wall talking about what may be and what might have been and what could be so much before you just lose your mind.
How many more fake trade proposal
Yeah,
ideas
how many
do
you got
have
left
left?
in you?
No, I'm done. I literally
He's traded for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I said that segment continued until AJ made a move, and I decided to call Wandy Peralta. Exactly. Like, Wandy Peralta qualifies. All right?
I will tell
Don't
you
make
this.
me think of another one.
And I'll tell you this. It's going to get much easier. It's going to get much easier.
I don't know if this qualifies as news. People in our chat were mentioning it. We didn't bring it up. Padres employee Hideo Nomo watching a Roki Sasaki bullpen session yesterday.
Just imagine what next offseason's going to be like, Ben.
Last week I brought up the theory, and it's just my theory.
No, I love your theory.
It's a great theory. It
Part
really makes
of
a
the
lot of sense.
retrenchment here, strategically, is to maximize your chance of signing Roki Sasaki on the international market next year, because he is literally one of the very few players that can make a difference at literally a very small price.
Yeah. Right.
And you don't see that in Major League Baseball anymore. You can sign guys for hundreds of millions, or you can trade massive prospects for good players. But the cost for Roki Sasaki, if he comes over next year, is one signing bonus of about $6 million. And you need to do everything you can to try to land him, and that includes maximizing your bonus pool revenue for next season by getting under the luxury tax.
Giving him all of his Padres gear that he is wearing.
Signing his mentor to a 6-year, completely unnecessary contract extension.
It's really about the courting process as opposed to, in other aspects of life. I heard you guys talking about dating yesterday, right? So you're courting them. This is not a money whip situation where you can go, oh, they're giving you 100, we'll give you 2. Like, it's not going to work like that. So he needs to know a place he can feel comfortable with, somebody he can lean on, all that. So I loved that. You can't give me enough info like that. Now, it will hurt tremendously if he ends up signing with the Pirates or the Reds or something. Yeah, like, it just kills you.
You meant the Dodgers. You misspelled Dodgers.
I just didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. But, yeah, I mean, that will kill you and make it worse. And then you think, did we really do a strategy where we're not putting the season on hold? Those guys are going to go out and play hard. But did we really put our focus there when it should have been here? That's something, you hope you don't go down that road next year.
Look, I believe to the bottom of my heart that Ben's theory is correct. I really do, because we were in on Ohtani all the way back in 2017. And if there had been a DH in the National League, it very well could have been us, because that's the level to which Preller will dig in on a major project. The more I think about him, I think of him as like a mad scientist. And I just feel like he's been in the corner of his lab with all of his green and purple potions and smoke coming up and bubbles bubbling for like the last few weeks. And people are like, no, look, there's all these perfectly normal transactions you can make over here.
Yeah. He's like, but no, wait.
But hang on. I'm coming up with the perfect formula.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, stuff like this intrigues him, and especially something where you don't have to break the bank, because let's face it, we're ballers on a budget.
But requires several years of planning,
of course,
laying foundations.
Long game.
Very long game. And the Yu Darvish contract, I think, is definitely part of it. Roki Sasaki's mentor, taught him most of his breaking sliders stuff, would be the perfect guy to say, hey, he's here. He's going to be your mentor for the next year, at least your first 4 years in the big leagues. He's going to be here with us.
Also, don't think that they will not employ him as a special assistant for as long as
yeah,
they need,
hiring
right?
Hiring Hideo Nomo, part of that strategy as well. I mean, the fact that he doesn't work for the Dodgers tells you how badly A.J. Preller probably wanted him. Why did he want him so badly?
For Roki Sasaki.
This is why he wanted him so badly.
Right.
His pen was nasty, man. I watched the pen and I went, and they're saying, hey, he has got more potential than Yamamoto. So that's absolutely
go through the
somebody.
list. Nick Martinez, Robert Suarez, now Matsui. Now go. This is a consistent area of strength for the front office of the Padres. They evaluate players from the Pacific Rim. They find value there. They bring people back, even players not from Japan or Korea, playing in Japan and Korea. So
very well done.
They really work this corner exceptionally well, and that's why I'm completely in that Sasaki next year will be all going crazy for a month trying to pick
Put
a
the
tea
pieces
leaf
together, watching
and
airplanes.
plane flight.
Yeah, no doubt.
John Morosi will send us down a primrose path.
Hope so.
Oh, my
We'll
God.
see. All right, Annie and Elston coming up next. That's it for us. Come back tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week, finally give you a Super Bowl pick as we head into spring training. For Paul, for Woods, I'm Ben. Have a great rest of your Thursday. From all of us here at 97.